Hello everyone, and we are live with Roll for Initiative presents Session 18 of Echoes of the Forgotten. We're in for some good times. People who got play the game as Osiris, Christine and Selena, the sisters, got the RP inspiration for the day, and we will let Darian explain what happened in the world of Voneutia.
Last time on Echoes, the party began their fight against the encumbered Chain Devil. It tried to stop the party while also maintaining its grip over the Celestial of the Forest, and this didn't end well. Eventually, it was reduced to a bad smell, and shortly after, a large Edicap arrived, appearing to be rather mad that said Celestial was now free. A few clouds of poison later, they managed to get the large Edicap to flee and finish off their remaining foes. The Stagator, literally named the Stag, descended from where it watched the last of the fight, and with a brief conversation, the way to the Druids was opened. They left to revive Nerisian and did just that, performing a ritual to entice his spirit back from where it ended up. Upside, he was alive. Downside, he's now a fish. Everyone rested, and a few conversations were had, and eventually the party left to either find Selena's next trial or leave the forest, whichever came first. RNG decided that leaving the forest was first, and everyone promptly decided to avoid going back in the forest if possible. Crossing over the land bridge, after some shenanigans, the party re-entered Tide's favor and got paid for a job they completed for the first time ever. They went to rest up and discovered Nerisian used the opportunity to leave the party and go his own way, having told Osiris of his plan earlier. Everyone else sat down, had some wine and cheese, and decided the next course of action, which was to get paid for the first job they still hadn't been fully paid for. So they rested the night, woke, and prepared themselves for their journey to Duskview, the first stop on their way to Andavine. So yeah, you guys have awoken in the morning. During this morning period, while everyone's gotten up, the wagon's getting ready, the horse getting done, Selena went off, and I believe a few other people went off and bought rations, RD, Osiris, just to make sure you were stocked up for the trip. At the same time, a letter was sent away with one of the rookeries in town. That has all been dealt with in terms of monetary gain. Other than that,
Yeah. We begin the travel down to the city of Duskview in the Amarasian Empire. It takes you all 8 days to travel across the large road that lies adjacent to the forest. At some point, the path leads you into the forest, but no longer than a mile, mainly to avoid uncrossable areas like cliffs and such. However, the magic of the forest does not seem to hinder your travels so long as you stick to the road, and eventually you make it out to a clearing. It looks like a well-used rest spot for those who have to travel inland, and you quickly bring your wagon to rest. You look out the area around you and you see the fewer and fewer trees popping up, but with taller grass and underbrush beginning to emerge. You see the beginnings of the scrublands. I'll actually get the map out. That's nice.
it's a good idea.
For sure. Let's get the fancy token. Who should we use for the token?
Use the dead Nerisian.
Okay. You're about...
That was just a quick okay.
Yeah, so 8 days it takes you to cross the Great Forest to enter this blue area called the Scrublands. It's not a very interesting area. A lot of people don't live here because it's in the outlying areas of the forest, where, as I just said, there are not as many trees, but it's still very much dense underbrush, and not the greatest place to live.
It is also, just 8 days later, it is the 26th. Stop messing with the size. Okay.
8 days, yeah.
Yep.
Continue on to the next one. Along your continued travel, you occasionally pass others travelling on the road. Most pass you are heading to Gizlane and doing so to looking for trade or work. Several small wayside villages occupy the roadways, are always with an inn, and sometimes emerge a farm trying to grow out what they can amongst the aggressive underbrush. And while the road seems well travelled, it is poorly maintained. Ruts and divots occasionally try to force you off, and the dense shrubbery on all sides means that when the wagon is forced into the underbrush, you literally have to carve a path back to the road. Thick clusters of roots furrow the ground, and several times you've had to travel slowly so as not to risk damaging the wagon or hoarding the horses. As the days go by, the travel does get marginally easier. Whilst the grass remained the same, there does seem to be a dwindling number of hardy bushes and undergrowth as you quickly transfer into the savannah. In the evening of your 13th day on the road, you arrive in a small, partially makeshift township, mostly run by Leonin and Tabaxi. A more established and permanent camp to what you know that the residents of the savannah are known for. As your wagon stumbles into the township, a large tanned furred Leonin walks up to you. Welcome to Shimola Bahari, honored guests. Please find a spot to rest and recuperate the journey. The journey in the scrublands can be tiring. As you look out, you're partially adjacent to the ocean. It seems to be like a decent, maybe a mile or so away from this little encampment. But it is a spot to rest for your travels. The name
Did it seem like that Leonin had any ill intent?
No, he was. Oh, roll insight. But
Cyrus is Leonin paranoid.
I'm everything paranoid.
he's generally just a good dude. This encampment seems to be small. It's like a pack that has a small community. They're happy to see new people in it every so often, and they do know that traveling through the road to Ghislaine is and can be difficult for most people. So it is hospitality at its finest. That was an additional 6 days of trek through the scrublands. So we are at the 1st of Harl.
But yeah, to those who know, most people know about Leon, and they're mainly a nomadic group, but it's a bit strange seeing them set up in what looks like a semi-permanent establishment. But they are also, you can tell from where on the map, they are pretty much as far from the wastes as you can be, while still being in the savannah technically.
Do any of them have like those bone gauntlets that Jacobo used to wear?
A few of them.
Yeah.
Though they do seem to be wild Jacobas are mainly like gazelle and like lion bones. These seem to be like crocodile, and they seem to be a lot more brittle, a lot more fish bones. While they're large fish bones, they're still fish bones.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they're not as well made as like Jacoba's ones were, or the other Leonins you've passed on in the Union of Azeroth.
So they seem more like just like fishermen and farmers and whatnot.
It's a lot. You see, look around. There's a lot of fishing gear, like in nets, occasionally like harpoons and spears. It seems like these people mainly just fish.
Okay. Well, I politely nod to the one that greeted us as like I start sort of sorting out my stuff.
I'll just quickly type out the name. Darian can read the next paragraph, or yeah,
It's not
have scenes if you want.
Yeah, it doesn't take you very much effort to find somewhere to rest. It's not a very like organized town or something. The night comes, you eat whatever like foods you prepared along the way, or you can get fish if you want. It's up to you really. And then in the morning, you continue along your journey. Not even half a day later, you enter the official line of Amarician Empire. The quality of the roads rapidly increased. Like not even a day past the border, and you start to see farms alongside. Small villages appear not long after. Most of them only clusters of houses, but occasionally a shop or two and an inn. A day later, you start to see larger farming villages and well-patrolled roads as a group of mounted guards pass you every few hours, making sure these lands are safe. Towards the middle of your 3rd day, along the horizon, you see large fields full of purple flowers. Following the road up a gentle rise ahead, to the north is a spacious township that seems to have several manor-like buildings surrounding it. As you walk down the road, you see a sign written in very fancy calligraphy-like writing. It just says, "Welcome to Duskview." Underneath are a set of pointed signs directing you to different areas. The one that points to the south side of the hill literally just reads Duskbloom Fields. Where looking that way, you can see that the amount of buildings vastly decreases as that's where a majority of these these fields full of these purple flowers are. The sign pointing past the hill to the north side reads Botanical Gardens and Cemetery and Common Township. And then to the east, more of an eastish direction pointing directly up towards the hill, it reads Duskview Center, Estates, Manors, Premium Food and Lodgings.
And I know since you were asking beforehand, Tez, as like the last couple of days, mainly Savannah and thing, you've noticed that it's transitioning from a half moon to a waning gibbous, and there is a potential that in your stay you can see a full moon.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, which sign are you guys gonna follow?
I would vote for the basic bitch one.
But where the like inns and all that stuff are.
Yep.
Although
Oh,
the
yeah.
garden does sound rather lovely at this time of year.
I feel like for Christine, she's not really like paying attention too much to the signs and the direction. She's mostly just looking towards like the sort of field of flowers, just mixture of like sort of happiness, but there's some sort of tinge of like sadness in that.
Well, I imagine we're all probably tired from the journey. I know I certainly am. I guess maybe we should find some place to stay for the night.
Better than camping out, although that doesn't really mean anything to me.
Yeah, it must be a luxury carrying your home on your back.
It is.
It's gotta get kind of heavy.
Home is where the heart is.
And boy, do you have a squishy heart.
That's why we have a big house on it.
That's why he has a shell to protect it.
But yeah, there are 3 roads. You guys want to go up to the fancier establishments on the hill itself, or pass to the northern side of the hill where you'll have not as good a view of the fields to the south, but that's probably more common establishments, like normal townships and whatnot. Or you can just ignore those and go south into the fields themselves for some reason.
Honestly,
Well, I
I
feel-
don't. Sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say, I feel like the uptight place, like if I wanted to be bitched at, we would have stayed in Gizlane.
100% what I was gonna say. I feel like common establishments would be perfectly fine. I've had enough of Ghislaine sort of estates to do me a lifetime.
It's also a lot easier to relax amongst commoners.
All right, easy enough. You start heading along the northern path. The road itself stays quite a ways from the hill itself. Watching this hill, you notice that all the buildings that take place on the hill itself, there's a few more like generic-looking government-style buildings. Like there's basically like a keep of some kind. It looks very flashy, but it's not very strong, if that's the right word. Lots of manors and estates, like very like large gardens with like low fences and whatnot. But as you make your way around the northern side of the hill, you notice like what is more of a generic town, except it's in kind of like a half moon shape around the north side of the hill. Going in there is pretty standard. You see a few people mulling around, but a lot less than you'd expect from a town this, like a city this size, as it appears to have a very large physical location, but is not very heavily populated. Passing in, you do see, looking for a place to rest, one of the first places you see. I don't think we wrote its name down here, Joe.
It's the Sleepy Hammer, isn't it?
It is the Sleepy Hammer, actually.
God.
Yeah, one of the first places you see when coming to town is a little inn, which is just called the Sleepy Hammer, which is quite literally a hammer, like the symbol's a hammer and a pillar under it. If you want, it has all the stuff you need, like a stable and whatnot. And given I'm assuming you all aren't too picky about where you're staying,
Not really, no.
You guys are gonna have more of an input. I can't sleep in their beds anyway.
I'm honestly unfazed. It sounds perfectly fine to me.
As long as there's a place nearby to potentially clean up after a few weeks of travel.
going on in, you notice that the place itself appears rather well made inside. For the common part of the town, you're rather surprised. It's got a very cozy atmosphere. It's not like a standard tavern or an inn. There's like little tables set up with like cushioned chairs and a little fire going on the edge, and you can immediately smell the aroma of like tea and pastries as you walk in. There's a little ding 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 as you step through the door, and then soon after you just hear a voice call out, "I'll be with you in a moment." And then footsteps approaching, and you see a dwarf round a corner and hop up onto a little stool as he climbs and goes, "Oh, quite a few of you. I did not expect quite a number of people today. Welcome to the Sleeper Hammer. I am Potterum Whitefingers. Nice to meet you. You can call me Pot."
Pleased to meet you as well, Pot.
Pleasure.
Quite a few. I did not expect so many people today. You're going to be staying in our fun establishment tonight.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. Now, I just want to say there's a few rules. We're not a normal inn. We don't do big boisterous events or vast displays of testosterone here. Keep it calm. We're here for a nice pleasant evening, and if you'd like, we have lovely teas and pastries. We offer dinner and breakfast in the morning. But like I said, no rowdy business.
Pot, the pastries are burning.
Oh, I said, I'll pass you the kettle. He'll take care of you from here. And Pot gets off the thing and runs back into the kitchen.
A bit later, you see another dwarf. This one wearing black hair and beard. Well, I'm Kettle Fungusfoot. I mean the tea station here. Let's get your booked in and your paperwork and keys assigned there.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
And he just gets you a document, which is just like a receipt, pretty much, just like how long you want to be here for, the money half on front, half on the end, food and drink, given to you while you're staying here. It's a bit more pricey than a regular inn, probably be around maybe $1 a day per person. Oh no, that was the Kettle has no beard. I remember. He's just got black hair. Probably about 5 silver a night per person.
I got a question, sir.
Hey?
Do you guys have somewhere I can house my horses and cart?
Not in this place. It's a very small one, but there is a stable yard, not that too far out from where you came from. If you came up the north road.
Alright, thank you. I'll have to. You guys go check in. I'll go sort this out.
Do we know how long we want to stay for? Just before you leave. I personally
Do you guys
would
want
like
to
to.
stay longer?
I would be interested in waiting around until the full moon, if that's possible. Roughly how far away would that be, AJ?
Full moon? I think that's probably. I think tonight or tomorrow night would be the first night that it starts to be there.
Oh, that's convenient.
Usually lasts around maybe 4 or 5 days.
Well, in that case, how long would you like to stay for, everyone?
I am quite comfortable with a couple of days.
2 days sound fine for everyone?
Yeah.
I am indifferent, but I would like to, after these 2 days are done, to immediately get back on the road.
Yeah.
That's
No
fair.
worries. Yeah, we'll take 2 days.
Wonderful. So that'll be 5 of you, 25 silver pieces per day. That will be 50 silver pieces or 5 gold, please.
I'll foot this one for now.
I'll have to go house these horses.
I'm gonna go follow Osiris as well.
Am I able to ask a very quick question to was it Kettle?
Aye?
Mr. Kettle?
Aye?
Would you happen to know of any hey, this place might be a little on the small side for a town. Would you happen to know of any bathhouses?
If you want something like that, it'll be in the more prissy, fancy section of the city where the nobles live.
That's fine. A walk would never hurt.
Yeah, I think it's called the Beauty of the Moon or something like that. But there are accommodations for you to take a bath here.
I will keep it in mind either way, but much appreciated. I'm going to go have a walk for now.
Well, since you two are the only ones here left, missus, here are your keys for your rooms. Room, whatever you wish. He hands you a set. Dinner is at 8, breakfast is at 7. Have a good day.
Thank you for your hospitality. And I will head up to my room.
It's
You notice this place is a bit. It's not like the normal inn tavern room. It's basically, you're pretty much staying in a bed and breakfast. It's
It
got like
sounds
the
nice.
yeah, it's got like even for a like common part of the town, this place seems still even the common part is still a little a little more like upper class than would be common in other cities.
Was it quaint?
It's very quaint.
Yeah.
Very quaint.
I like a quaint B&B.
It's got like those frilly curtains, like the like drapes over the
No.
windows, like the silk ones.
Someone want to tell me what quaint means? I legitimately do not know.
A waste of time.
No, quaint is like, yeah, like frilly curtains and like flowery rugs and stuff like
It's-
that.
it's-
Like
it's-
a cute little cottage on the beach.
Quaint
side
is
or
the
something.
definition of nice. This is a nice place.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, like what Sam said.
Cool.
But yeah, the town is yours. You have most of a day. What do you want to do?
Once I've gotten my room set up, I'll just give myself a quick prestidigitate because, you know, dirt of the roads and whatever. And I want to head out and start checking and asking people, just maybe doing a little bit of like window browsing, but mostly I just want to sort of like ask around about any shrines that might be around. Possibly things that might show up at certain times of the year.
Alright, go ahead and roll a general charisma check. We should make a fucking, what's it called, start the paperclip
A streetwise skill.
Yeah, there needs to be
That
a
was so
return to
good from
Streetwise.
4th edition.
Like, the fact that skill doesn't exist sucks.
That's not
16.
bad.
You ask around, you find out a couple of things. The dust blooms happen, once a month, that's everything. There's nothing really, anything that sort of follows that rotation, other than activities with dust blooms themselves. Like, there are the bathhouse in the middle district that also you can, if it's at the right time, you can swim with, like, petals of dust bloom. While it's a full moon and something might happen, who knows. There are no real shrines. The closest you can get is the cemetery. They're known as the silver something. Let me quickly get my notes up because it jumped away when I wasn't looking. The silver fields. And that's got a small little shrine-esque thing to Kamashian, because it is half a botanical garden, half a graveyard. So it's got that little thing there.
The only other shrines you really know of, like, it's the usual ones you find in most towns of, like, near a major road, someone's like, oh yeah, there's a shrine to, like, the gods of travel over there, which, like, oh, you can throw a gold in and maybe you'll have a safer journey, and, like, there's a shrine to the god of the night and moon, that some people pray to in this town, because this town is a very big spectacle on nighttime and the rotations of the moon.
Okay.
Just, it's, like, nothing... It's stuff you've seen in other towns as well, nothing particularly...
Nothing that sort of stands out at all. Like,
Not
even the one
particularly.
that's at the cemetery is, like, fairly standard.
Yeah, it's the god of death, so...
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, no, I'll let other people do their thing now. I'm just gonna have to think about that.
What is everyone else doing? Chef, I know you wanted to go to a bathhouse. You find the one they were talking about. It's a little bit ritzy. 2 gold.
I'm just getting a general price. That's, yeah. If it's cheap enough, then I'll probably just take advantage of it now, which you said, what, 2?
Yeah, it's 2 gold for a general, like, it's a little bit ritzy. It's, there's the full package, which is 5, where you can get massaged and everything, but, like, tourists to use their bars with their exotic soaps and what that stuff.
Assuming we have time, I'm going to go for a treatment. 5, you said?
Yep. 5 G.
Why not? We just got paid lots.
Yeah. So that'll be how I'm spending my day.
Yeah, it's rather nice. They have a lot of, ironically, for a place all about this one particular flower, they have lots and lots of, like, perfumes and soaps and, like, washes. They're all based around this exact flower. What a surprise, right?
I
Part
remember
of
when you
the
said
pool
something
of the
about it
place.
being a tourist distraction.
It's just nice to have a break from smelling salts.
Exactly. They have smelling salts that are also dusk bloom fragranted.
Yeah, I don't think much else has to go on my end there, so...
Well, yeah, you too.
Putting the
Cyrus
horses
and Kim.
away.
It doesn't take long. Like, you go down you're not even like a block over, and you find like there's a large stable area. The people there are able to shelter your horses. It only costs you like for how many horses do you guys have? 4?
I really
believe
cannot
so.
remember
I believe
that.
it's 2.
I'm pretty sure it was,
I think it was 2.
2 and the donkey. Yeah.
The donkey's not here anymore.
Well,
So
we don't
2
have
in the wagon.
Okay. The wagon itself won't cost anything to store here because they just put it in they basically just put it like aside in one of the yards. The horses themselves, they'll basically keep them here for like 2 silver a day. Stabling a horse is pretty damn cheap.
2 silver, like each horse, 2 silver total.
Total. It's like 1 silver per horse.
So 4 days. 4 silver for 2 days. Sweet.
Yep. And the guy takes it, and he just immediately, once he takes the money, like some stable boys hop out and start unlatching the horses and dragging the wagon around back, and they get about like rubbing the horses down and getting them ready. So you can tell they'll be taken care of.
Hell yeah.
Have you guys ever named these horses?
Nope.
No, we have not.
No.
So I want to
Well, then-
actively keep them nameless.
Then when they
So
die,
long
you
as I
won't
can.
be sad.
Exactly. Can't be sad if I'm unattached.
Exactly.
Got a point there, I guess.
Yeah, that only takes you guys like 5, maybe 10 minutes to do. So what are the 2 of you gonna do after that?
I'm gonna split off just for a little bit. I don't know what you're planning on doing, but yeah.
Is it something you want to do by yourself, or
I mean, I don't mind if you want to come along, but yeah,
alright,
Yes,
cool. Yep,
okay.
sweet. And I'll just follow wherever she's going. It seems like
Okay.
she's a stuttering mess, and
Yep.
well, I have all the patience in the world.
You have all the
No.
patience of 100 and something year old man.
Well, you have all the patience in the world is a limited concept.
Did you really comment? Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to just wander around a little bit. The idea is I want to try to find just like sort of a nice-ish jewelry store to purchase specific materials. And yeah, I'm probably like just looking in like multiple directions, moving one way and then turning around, moving the other, like just unsure of what I'm doing and where I'm going.
Just through the sheer like the humdrum of the town, eventually you are, when you're looking for a more like a fancier place to buy stuff, you will be pulled in the general direction of the hill itself. Otherwise, if
Yeah.
you're finding like it's a common looking place, it really depends on what you're looking to buy.
I need to look for some platinum rings.
I'm assuming for a particular spell component.
Yes, please.
What does that ring a bell?
It really should.
Yeah, it takes you a little bit. Just roll a perception check to see how long it takes you to find a place that sells platinum rings.
Sure.
Can
Nah.
I assist?
Sure, you can assist Osiris. So Kim, roll with advantage.
No
Okay.
way.
I want to ask a question to Jeremy. Is Osiris the type of shopper who knows exactly what he wants to get, does
Thank
so,
you.
and then
Yeah.
leaves?
Yeah, so how it works is, when you go into like Safeways or Coles, you end up leaving with more shit than what you normally do.
Yeah.
It's not.
Okay.
I don't do that either. Like,
No,
Just
that's I could totally see that. And
I
if
like-
he was with someone else and they started buying lots of stuff, I'd just be like, "What are you doing?
no. Stop.
We've got that at home."
In my mind,
Modify
because of how,
memory.
oh no. With how
You
like,
don't need
Christine
to.
seems to get distracted and like unsure of things. I like the idea where she's like looking at something, she's like, oh, maybe this place has it, and Osiris just like literally keeps walking, just pulls her along, like, no, not here.
Okay.
I love.
Yeah,
that.
like I do tell them I am looking like specifically like for platinum rings for something that has been like sort of pulsing in my mind every now and then, like kind of like just sort of thoughts of a thing that I can do.
Eventually, you find a jewelry store in the middle section of the city, the more posh place.
Wait, are you looking for like a ring on a finger or like a band, like an armband?
Finger.
And you enter, and There is a variety of rings of different metals and materials. You ask for specifically platinum ones, and they have a display of platinum rings ranging from probably the lowest is about 50 gold, and the highest ranges to about a couple thousand. But even the low quality wings, there are some craftsmanship in there. There are a few designs that look rather nice. The most cheap, the ones that are like 50, like 49, 48 gold, they're like just simple platinum bands that will suffice.
Okay. I feel like something I'm also looking for is seeing if there's like nice-ish platinum rings. I'm assuming like with this place, like how it's been like based around these flowers, like I'm just seeing if like any of them like have that sort of design or anything like that.
There is absolutely a section in the shop that's like, it's like, you know how in a lot of jewelry stores it's like designed like a kind of a U shape?
Yeah.
There's like one entire arm of that, and like the middle of the store with the floating displays are absolutely all like dusk bloom like styled. One area is just like gold and silver and like normal rings, and one area's got like little gemstone stuff for earrings and rings. But there's a lot of stuff that is very much, this is like, this is the tourist section of the shop.
Yeah, I know. I feel like she's probably a little bit drawn to that.
And I fully know that they always overcharge the tourist section.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they do.
The thing is as well, like when looking for like certain rings, I like end up pulling out my pendant, sort of looking at that, looking at the rings there, looking at the pendant, looking at the rings, like trying to see like which one's kind of close-ish to it.
Well, do you want an engraving, or do you want like the metalwork to resemble that? Like there's metalwork or gemstones that make the flower.
Do they have both? Like, so do they have like those sort of things? Like,
Yeah,
basically, I'm just looking at what's on
expensive
display.
though.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what's
It'd be
on
more
display.
expensive.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what's on display at the moment.
Well, if you've been to a jewelry store, Kim, you'll know that on display is everything from, on one section, here's like a 50 gold ring. That look, it's pretty basic. There's like some that have slight adjustments to it that might be 52 or 55 or 60 gold.
It'd probably
And
be
then
an
the other
engraving,
display
though,
is, here's a 3,000 gold ring
Yeah.
that has like inlaid with diamonds and amethyst and stuff.
No, it probably wouldn't be like an actual like thing on it. It'd just be more of an engraving.
Yeah, you can get.
That'd be about, like, that'd still be like maybe
But
55 gold
She's
max.
like, she's like looking at like sort of different designs and being like just sort of seeing what's the close-ish, like sort of thing. Even though they're probably all the same, but it's just like the idea of her just going through it being like, it's like hard to pick.
Well, you're looking through it all and you're trying to figure out what you're buying, and eventually, like, one of the like clerks from the store, a little gnome woman, like hops up and is like, "Is there anything you're looking for in particular?"
Oh god.
Even when the other one says, "Oh
The
god, that's a problem."
voice.
I'm looking for. I'm looking to get platinum rings, a pair, two. I want to try to get sort of close to, like, she pulls out like a pendant like around the neck, like similar to this in a way.
For the sake of not murdering AJ's ears,
Yeah.
I will refrain from doing a whole scene with this.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long. Basically, they offer, like, they do show you a few that might match, or they even suggest if you're willing to pay a little extra and wait a day or two, they can potentially get a ring sent off and customized, so it can be more like very much similar, but it will cost you an extra like 5 gold again for the workmanship.
Oh, that's actually not too bad then. I feel like she'd probably like fall into like, the idea of like that sort of upsell. Like, yeah, she'd probably like that. Sort of the extra gold cost on, like, that's on each ring, right? Actually, like 5 for each ring,
Yeah.
or was it?
So with the slightly higher quality platinum, and if you want to go for the good, like the better quality ring, and then you want to go for the engraving, it would basically be 60 gold per ring.
Yeah, yeah, I'd do that. I'd probably do
Alright.
that.
Yeah, it's like,
20, yeah.
all right, well, in a day or two, you come back. Here's a little slip, and she hands you a little note that has like some information on it. Just bring that back here, and we'll make sure you get your rings, okay?
Do you know her ring size? Because if we wanted to make it to fit, we need to know how wide her fingers are.
Fuck you, it's magic. Who cares?
Oh, no.
Even though they're not magical rings.
They're not, but I
She
can make it
size.
I can make it magical rings.
They become magical rings, so it doesn't really matter now.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're willing to drop 120 gold, you come back in a day or so, and you will have 2 rings.
Yay. I'm happy with that. Thank you. And I can't imagine how it's there to just feel like me doing all this.
You know when someone crosses their arms and then they tap their fingers against their arms
Yep.
in sequence?
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
doing that because you're in the expensive section.
She's in the
Because
she's in
I'd
like
like to
the
think he's familiar with the spell and that material components don't need to be this big flashy thing. They can just be basic, and you're not just
Yeah.
doing basic, which is
Yeah.
efficient.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
As you come over, he'll just go, "I hope you know that I'm going to say no if you propose."
that. What? What?
It was a joke.
But, I mean,
Come on, let's go.
okay. She just looks at you a little bit confused.
Oh.
Is there anywhere Cyrus wants to go?
Oh, I was tabbed. I said it has been 3 months' salary.
Actually, it has been 3 months' salary because you guys got paid nothing for 3 months.
What does that mean?
Saying because the joke about a wedding ring is it should be roughly worth 3 months' salary.
Okay, that's funny.
That's
Yes.
a lot of money.
Is there any particular Osiris wants to go, or is he just going to be following people around?
I'm gonna assume that fancy place. Do they have any like a cool bookstore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go see if they've just got like I don't know, just something interesting, I suppose.
I mean,
There's a
because he
few,
followed me, I'd follow
Like
him as
unique
well.
stands out. Similar to, but not exactly the same as that weird. I don't even remember what it was. The book that Librana took when I brought the set back, the real like risque one.
I was not even gonna lie. I was gonna say like the first place you find, given you're in like the higher quality one, is absolutely cool. Probably some name like it'd be like freaking
Frick.
Velvet Heat or like the Red Scroll or something like that.
Oh,
And you go in and
God.
it's absolutely it's like the first thing you walk into when you see there is straight up just like romance novels and smut
It
books.
was Beholder Erotica.
Yes, I remember what the book
I
was.
have
You
it
found
written down.
You've written it down.
it was Beholder X Reader Erotica. Yes,
X-Reader?
what?
beholden to his many eyes.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
Why though?
Who
Yeah,
cares?
I'm not looking for smut.
You then find an actual bookstore that has its own section of smut, but it's a section, not the entire store. And it's got a variety of
Smut's
topics. Like every other fancy high store, there's a little section about dust. You get your dusk bloom bookmarks and like paper clips or whatever. Here's some vellum.
Pressed flowers.
Yeah, pressed flowers. and all
Here's
that.
the section that's like, oh, this is the history of the dusk bloom and all his research on this particular flower. It's been done over. Here's the history of this town and notable people who've lived here or ruled here and blah blah blah. It's a bookshop. Is there anything particular you're looking for, or just interesting books?
As like whatever interaction that was happening, I just think to myself, yeah, well, I've got all information at hand when I sleep, so fuck you, I don't need any of this crap. So I'm less looking for something informative and more like fiction or like someone's biography or just something unique.
Okay.
I don't want to learn.
Roll a perception.
I like to imagine I'm just like sort of going along with it, just
This would not be investigation.
You know, wrong.
Sure, investigation, because that makes way more sense.
okay.
You find a few autobiographies, and or biographies about rather famous people. There's a couple about. There's one that's like a breakdown of the two current kingdoms of the world. The Empire is a sort of half biography, half history book about like both the sovereign Xavier, the King Xavier and Sovereign Matthias of Ghislaine and Amaris, respectively. There's one about that, talking about like their early life and all that stuff. There's a couple of famous bards and wizards in Ghislaine that have had their books told. There's a couple of like the Tales of the Battle of the Bard, like those very famous children's book sort of deal, but a lot more like higher quality editions of the books, With
I'll
like
take a high quality edition of a children's book.
okay, probably about 5 or so gold. It's one of those ones that has got like the felt slush, like the knitting like cover
Damn.
thing, whatever they are.
Ah, yeah.
And it's literally just called like the Tales of Voneutia. And you just know that they're well known. There are a few well known things. There's a couple like obscure ones, but they're mainly like all like they're like the Grimm's fairy tales. They're all this is the German version where not like there's bad things happen in these books a lot more than the good things happen in the normal ones.
Oh damn. I don't imagine I'm
happy with
trying to. Sorry, go ahead.
You said it's fun.
Sorry. I like to imagine like as he's sort of like going around like looking through books, like picking one out and looking at it, putting it back. I'm just like sort of behind him, just looking over his shoulder, just trying to see what books he's grabbing. Just like curious and like, sort
What a
of
sticky bag.
yeah.
You seem to do that.
Literally. But, you know, she's,
I take just that one book.
Yeah, that'll be about 5 gold.
Yeah.
And then yeah. Anywhere else the pair is going?
she's just like sort of looking at Osiris, just like, what next?
Why is it always going to come to me? Why do I have to come up with all the ideas? Where are your
Well-
ideas?
Well, it's because it's like she's literally like she just sort of looks to be like the look of is there anything else sort of thing, but it doesn't say anything.
No, I say that.
Oh, okay. I don't have anything else to do, so I thought. I mean, I only just wanted the one thing. I don't really know what to do right now. To be honest.
So let's go find something to do. And I walk out of the bookstore after I've paid for everything and just pick a direction and walk. Find something cool.
Okay.
Roll a d4. Okay. You start making your way south, and you enter a section of these vast purple flowers that seem to be made for people to walk down. And it's like you're in the middle of this swath of like blue flowers that like half like a rose. I'll actually bring the image up that Tez drew if I've got it still.
I think it's just in the images. Pretty sure.
Yeah,
It's like there if you redid everything. There it is.
a whole bunch of these, but just purple at the moment. And they're all over the place. Yeah.
It's like a little walkway, like you find those gardens where it's like all the paths and like there's hedges and things and whatnot. It's all fancy. Yeah. Could you, Jude? You go.
As we walk down it, I turn to Christine. It's like, I'm not holding your hand either.
She,
Hey,
she
Christine,
doesn't-
make a perception check when he says that. Looking at when he says that,
hold
you're
on,
like,
hold
okay.
on.
You're gonna use your inspiration.
Are you going to use your type to chaos?
That's what I'm thinking of between right now.
Up to you.
Well, this is gonna be
Sorry,
fun. I'm gonna use Tides of Chaos.
Don't blow up the fancy gun.
Cool. It's a 10.
Okay, well, you're looking, when he says that, you're caught off for a moment because you've been looking at the fields. Then you look around and you realize that everyone here is like a couple.
That's the problem. I don't know if she registers that. Like,
Well, you quite literally, like, you turn and look and you see like two people who are like kissing next to like a tree, like next to like a bench with like a statue putting it past them, and you look past it, like two people holding hands, like looking out over the fields as the sun is like slowly going down in the distance. It's yet to like reach sunset, but it's approaching in the next couple hours.
I feel like she's like it comes to sort of noticing things around her, sort of looks, doesn't register anything, and then goes back to just looking at the flowers and sort of moves forward, like just past Osiris anyway, like not paying attention to what he's even saying as well.
Your joke didn't land, Osiris.
As she walks past, I just say to myself, Christine, no, it is forbidden love.
Okay, I just took a drink. You
want
maybe
a
almost spit it
reaction.
over my keyboard.
Thank you, it's my job. My title is Bard.
That's fair, actually. I mean, she'll hear that, she'll turn around, just... Huh? What? Well, what? What?
You know, it's more fun if I don't explain it.
Don't... I mean... Don't you have...
You want to finish that sentence?
No. Sorry. She just sort of turns around, just keeps sort of moving. Sorry.
Kids these days.
Ouch. Yeah, she'll go back to sort of looking at it, but like she's just like not flustered, but like just a bit like she caught her own words and she's now like, what do I do now? What do I do now? What do I say now? Like sort of thing.
When he responded, there was no malice behind it. So.
I probably could tell that, but like it's still a sort of thing where it's like fuck sort of mindset. Like the idea of like, what do I do now? But yeah, she just keeps moving. She it's not that sort of moving where she's like moving away from you fast, but she just keeps moving and sort of has her head down a little bit.
Yeah, so you awkwardly move away. You start drifting around the area, looking at the different, like looking or avoiding looking at the different like displays of flowers and whatnot. Eventually, you make your way around and you find like a quieter area where there's like an open, kind of like an open clearing with benches and whatnot. And you just see Selena sitting at one of the benches, just like staring out towards the south.
I feel like that's the sort of thing where she's like looking elsewhere and she just sort of looks forward to see Selena and then she's like, okay. Turns back to Osiris to see what he does. She just kind of stops when she notices.
Are you all of a sudden allergic to it?
No. I just thought it'd be best to give her space that she seems... It looks like she... I mean, I don't know what to say to her, honestly.
Yeah, fuck that. And I walk up to Selena.
I'm like...
She'll follow, but she's not like... Yeah, she'll follow behind.
She's clearly meditating. She doesn't have her eyes shut, but it's like... It's got very much that, like, no thoughts, head empty look. There's a little bit of glow in her pupils, and yeah, but she's meditating.
He stands there for just a little bit, thinking to himself, I think I have a thing for this.
Oh god.
Yeah, a few moments pass, but she doesn't seem to recognize you approached.
You could walk directly past her and it wouldn't even change the way she looks. Like she's not really staring, she's in like a trance.
I feel like that would have been like the thing I would have tried, like upon seeing the glow, just like sort of moving forward like a little bit, and then noticing their reaction, she just kind of moves back.
The one time I wish I had mage hand.
Oh,
You didn't know what I'd do.
Slap?
wow.
No,
Dude,
I have a thing.
I was gonna say I have 19 HP. Don't smack me, I might die.
We're mage hand?
Nah, I'm kidding.
I'll turn to Christine. Maybe she'll say yes.
What?
Two?
We're getting rings, aren't you?
I told you that I had an idea. Like,
You
sometimes
didn't tell me what the idea was.
I don't really know the full. It's like an idea which I can then refine. That's how I'm able to kind of somewhat have control over what I'm doing, and with certain spells I can, well, use. Some of them is memory for what I've kind of learnt, but otherwise the rest is mostly like flashes, and I sort of pick that up and I can use those concepts to create effects. I mean, that's sort of how I could use some certain magic that I feel like is sort of it's not really that of what you'd say studied. I mean, you've seen what I've done, so I mean, yeah, it's just that's a sort of it's images really. That's sometimes a word, but mostly images.
I must congratulate you.
Hmm?
You did a very good job at sidestepping the question.
Did I?
You didn't answer it.
What was I answering?
What are the rings for, Christine?
I feel like she's like trying to go a bit quieter, like so it doesn't yell. Like I feel like I have a way which could help. She said she wanted to be a bit stronger, be a bit more defensive in a way. I think I have a way to do that, but I don't know how to tell her because from what I've also gotten from the idea, it's not the best effect on me.
I really hope you're not planning on doing what I think you're doing.
I know full well what the spell is. Yeah, it's okay.
As in, that was Selena. I rolled a perception, and it was if I got over a 10, she's gonna hear you guys.
Yeah, it's like you finish saying that, and then she says you look over and she's just looking right at you, Christine.
It's to help. I promise.
None of that life force being sucked sort of thing. I'm not about that.
It's no. It's not that.
Okay. Yeah, so I tried to find the quietest place in this field because surprisingly, well, not really surprisingly, this place is really noisy. I
Well,
guess I should have
yeah,
expected.
You picked the floral version of Make Out Point.
Yeah. I
If I
sort of
could do-
assumed it would be a rather romantic place, but not this kind of romantic.
If I could do a Valley Girl voice, I'd be like in the background. When she says, "It's it's not very quiet here," you just see someone go, "Oh my God, there are flowers!" Just in the distance.
Oh, Stacey, look over there.
Flowers. Oh, I could die.
So, apparently there's a trial here. Well, I'm assuming there's a trial here. I was going over my notes, and one of the things... Let me just see. Let me just check. One moment. Literally had that written down here. Below the fields that rejoice at night's birth. So I'm going to assume somewhere around here there's a shrine. Or at least a way to get into a shrine.
Do you remember what happened last time we encountered where we got close to a shrine?
That was in the middle of a forest.
Technically, this is a tiny forest. If you're small enough, it's the same thing.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I thought, I'm gonna guess that it's whatever is hiding the shrine is probably only going to be activated this time of year, or month, should I say. That's just a guess. It would be a little bit easy if it was, all the time. So here I am trying to meditate and figure out if I can get some kind of sense of where it might be. You guys have detect magic, don't you?
No.
I think she like sort of tries. Maybe not. Maybe that's a bit back in the mind. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I can probably do it myself later.
If you find a place that you think it might be at and are curious, come get me and I'll cast Identify on it, which is like Detect Magic, but for more specific things.
I haven't been able to find anything so far, but I'm gonna keep trying.
I'll I'll do some research tonight, and I'll see whether or not I can find anything pertaining to this place about it.
Thank you.
I've not had much success in the past, but it's also a very broad subject where, assuming that it's in this place, I can look up about this place.
I imagine finding a book about a specific thing and a giant library would probably be quite the task.
Well, you've seen how big it is, and I now have access to even more places.
Yeah, I don't envy you. Well, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I think I might continue meditating for now. See if I can get some kind of read on this place.
Yeah, well, Christine asked me here on a date, so you have fun meditating, and I'll walk off.
Christine?
I like to
Isn't he
imagine
a
he
little
just.
old for you?
I like to imagine he just walks off and then she's just there like. Huh?
I will get a reaction one way or another.
He was joking, wasn't he? He was joking.
Hang on.
I think. I don't know. Hang on, what?
Oh
Was I
god.
joking?
Ah, alright, hang on. What's that, an insight?
Is that more deception than persuasion?
Oh, no, you would be correct. Semantics.
It doesn't matter, you still got 22.
You'll hear in your
Christine.
head before I leave. Yes, I'm joking.
Oh, I hear, okay. Christine. Like, I understand we're on a very perilous journey, but you need to find someone within your age group. You guys are decades apart. He's-
What?
Oh, this is no fun.
She's so oblivious, she doesn't get it.
We were on.
Centuries even.
We went to a few places and then we're just walking around because I think he's trying to do something.
It's sarcasm. It's okay.
Huh?
We're just being silly.
Oh.
Or is he?
Huh? Sorry?
It's a joke.
Okay. Sorry.
While this awkward conversations are going on, Osiris has wandered off. Chef, you've had a lovely bath. You've spruced yourself up. What are you doing with the rest of your day?
I wasn't sure how much of the day passed, to be honest.
Well, you guys arrived. It wasn't the dawn when you guys got here, but having even spending hours at a salon or a spa and getting a full treatment and everything, you're still not going to be there for until midnight.
No, I get
So-
that. It's just roughly what time.
I'd say you're approaching around 4 or 5 p.m., maybe 5:30ish at the latest.
Honestly, it'd probably just be a nice casual, sort of a slow walk. Not like rushing, but slow back to the Sleepy Hammer. And probably just going in to ask about what sort of teas they have available.
Yeah.
Aside from
As
the
you-
obvious.
They have many teas, actually. I need to look up the name again because I don't have it selected.
Kettle.
Kettle, that's right.
Kettle's all
Kettle, you go.
We have a variety of teas. I grow my own herbs. I try different varieties every day. Some stick, some don't. I don't usually allow visitors to try the experimental teas, but there's quite a few in back that I test every day, making sure that I get compounds and flavors right. We've even got a small section where you can buy your own bags, and you leads you to a section that's much like a small cafe. There's the actual bread display of all the pastries and all the breads and stuff are there, and there's this tea section. We've got even some of the more interesting and exotic ones, like the dwarven teas, mainly using mushroom spores for that one.
I will stop you right there, Kettle. I know you did specifically say that you don't like giving experimental stuff to Well, I imagine guests in general. But if you wouldn't mind a guinea pig, I'd be more than happy to try them.
Roll a persuasion. Alright, I can tell that you have some experience with flavors as such. I get that from your general demeanor. I'm happy
I
to
can try and get some tips afterwards.
happy to provide with you some of the more experimental stuff during your stay.
If you want me to pay for it as well, I'm more than happy to.
Yeah, it'll be covered by the room. It's all good.
Well, I guess I know how I'm spending the rest of my evening.
Alright, let me get the first brew then. And he goes off to the kitchen and brings out a tea pouch, and then he brings like a small little parchment that is written like what the ingredients are, and it's very like it's a lot of math. It's like he's got percentages and like how long that they've been dried for, the leaves, etc. And he's like
Pretty standard stuff in the whole tea brewing side of it.
And you have a fine time staying with him till dinner, trying at least 3 or 4 brews of these experimental teas, providing notes, and you have this back and forth exchange of flavors and all that, and it's makes for a conversation that you specifically have not had in quite a while. About
Haven't had since I left my previous occupation,
yes.
or so to speak.
Eventually, everyone comes in by.
I was just say, Osiris, when you were walking away, were you heading back to the inn? Well, the bed and breakfast?
I'll probably wander around this flower place for a little bit, but then head back, yeah.
Okay, because I'd say around the same time where she's having those teas is about the same time you're like on your way kind of around, like at the edge of the gardens. And at this point, the sun is officially like started to set properly, and you've watched as, because of a whole, it's your kind of northern hemisphere face as you watch into the whichever direction, because I can't remember off the top of my head, the sun is setting. And to the south, you see the moon start to slowly rise over the horizon, the 3 of you who are out there. And as you see the moon start to come up, the almost full moon, you see kind of like a shimmering wave of almost silver that starts at the very furthest edges of the fields and kind of glitters its way across the tops of all the fields. It's not ridiculously bright, but as you see this start happening, as the moon continues rising, this wave of silver just keeps progressing across until eventually it's covering the whole fields, and there's kind of purplish silver covering the whole fields. And you hear people go, "Oh my god, it's so beautiful!" And then you also have that guy who's like, "Not even a full moon yet. It's not even the proper time."
Oh my
Small-
god.
I'll get relatively like within. Hang on, let me make sure the range is right. I'll get within 60 feet of him, and he'll hear in his head, "You doubt my power. I will make this beyond bright. If you do not know your place, mortal."
Make an intimidation check. I'll say to those who are sitting here watching, you basically, from all the stuff you looked at as far as that, like, the full moon is coming, and these do react most to the full moon because it is only a day or so away. This is like the pre-bloom kind of effect of it. It's like the day before or 2 days before proper bloom. So that man, you say that to him, and he looks around, like immediately looks around in all directions. Doesn't seem to say, like, catch your eye in particular, and then he just goes like, he huffs and just starts leaving. Like, "No, tell me what to do. I'm no." And he starts walking
No.
away.
No.
But as he's walking, you notice, like, as he goes down the path, he looks over his shoulder once more, like back towards the fields, then just quickens his pace a little bit.
I love this.
Yeah, it's very pretty, but this is basically the before bloom.
But still very much pretty.
Since I'm like, I don't know, I'm meditating to try and get like some kind of read of like magic that I might recognize. Whether or not it's like something similar to the shrine that I did before in the desert. Do I need to do any rolls for that or no?
You can't really feel like the latent, like just magic around you in general. Unless you were casting detect magic, you can't really see the
That's
effects of
fair.
magic. All you know is like you have heard the dusk blooms themselves are magical in some form or another, but you're not sure exactly how. So unfortunately, you won't be able to just like know if it's a similar magical imprint of the other place.
Well, now the flowers have started to bloom, I'm actually going to do like a really thorough check around the area to see if I can find anything.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Hey, at least it's not a -1 like my other character. Woo! It's a +1.
What are you doing at the same time she starts getting up to look around, Christine?
I probably.
I'm going to re-roll that.
All right.
I don't know. Like I feel like I'm probably just more
That's slightly
so.
better.
You can also add your gods thing as well.
I will actually. Thank you.
I'm probably more so just watching, and then just she sort of comes into this view as she like sort of moves towards it, like into my frame, and then it's just like she'd probably just stay back. She doesn't want to intervene and sort of mess things up, so she just sort of watches.
Eventually, as you walk around Selena, you come across a small, rope fence, and you almost trip over. It seems to be in the middle of this field, and as you get up and look around from it, you see a small sign with metal with writing in both in common, draconic, and giant. Is the phrase "Keep out private property."
That could be exactly where I need to go, or that could be a really bad idea.
It is beginning to get dark.
And there'd still be a few people around, I'm assuming.
Have a look.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Yeah.
Christine, if you're following her, then you can make one as well if you want.
Yeah, I guess like as she sort of moves further and further, just to not be left alone, I would probably just sort of move a bit towards her. Perception A, you said?
Yup.
There are,
18?
both of you said there are very few people are actually in the, where you were before. They're not in the flowers. A lot of them have started to begin going up to overlook the entire plain all at once glowing. So there is maybe only a few couples within sight distance, but it's probably edging. Who knows if they can see where you are? Only a few of these flowers are glowing, so and it's getting dark.
And you said that it's not quite it's sort of like a day off still, being like the full.
It could be today, it could be tomorrow, but it's probably soon.
What
I feel like this is something we probably shouldn't do without the rest of the group.
What?
Go through here.
Oh. I mean, can't we find someone to ask to?
I've been asking all around this town, and I haven't gotten anything. Just the usual things.
I meant to get in.
It does say private property. So unless we find the person that the property belongs to, I feel like maybe not.
Okay.
I'll make a note of the location, but I'm not going to do this with not a full group.
Alrighty then. The two of you return back to the thing. You all have your dinner, which seems to be small quiches for everyone. With some delightful tea. You all bathe, and if you want to, and you find places to rest and relax. And as you all are in that state of going to sleep or reading or whatever you're doing at the Sleepy Hammer, you finally take some time to relax in the comfy dwellings after the trek in the wilderness you just partook in. As you all begin to nod off, you all see silvery white glow slowly becoming brighter from the outside of the residence. I assume as some of you look outside to the window to find the source, you all see the bright full moon lying above the townscape, stars sparkling alongside, and a single blue streak of light darting across the sky. However, as you look down, almost like a mirror, you see speckles of these silvery white dots glow in what you can assume are the dark patches of these purple flowers you saw earlier today. You gaze just toward the buildings and people around you, and you see that small people in groups of like 2 to 3 small families also overlooking the site. It's a quite tranquil one. Soon enough, people begin to walk back in, and whenever you guys feel to do so, you also go back inside and get the rest you so deserve. And with that, I think we'll call a break.
Cool.
Roll your usual thing into the tower, Cyrus.
This is going well.
I'm gonna unprepare a certain spell and prepare a certain spell.
I'll be right back, actually.
Just in case. The dust bloom fields sound amazing.
It was one of the very first things that we made, I think.
They sound so like awesome. It's like I kind of actually want to be there. It's something I'd enjoy immensely.
Yeah. How's everyone going with this nice chill version? Nice relaxing day.
I'm really worried that I missed my one chance.
Hey, it happens.
Just go with the flow, yo.
I'm not going into a frickin' trial with like 2 people.
Have you tried going into a trial with 2 people?
No.
No.
That's your problem.
What's this spell? There's so many spells in here I just look like, what the fuck is this? It's amazing how I don't have half of them like memorized by now. There's a spell called Arcane Hand? What the fuck is that?
There's your result for that.
Yeah, it's Mage Hand.
Jeremy.
No, Arcane Hand. There's a spell.
Oh,
really
Arcane.
called that. Yeah.
That might be Big Beast.
It's Bigby's hand.
Oh. There's a spell really called Big B's Hand though.
But there's a whole, like, you can get Hideous Laughter and Tasha's Hideous Laughter that's there for people who don't want to use, like, famous people wizards in their spells, so they've renamed and retextured a bunch of them. So you've got Hideous Laughter, you've got Tiny Heart instead of Lehman's Tiny Heart, and the Arcane Hand is what Bigby's Hand is.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
So, like, if we gave Osiris a spell up, it'd be just Substrato.
Okay, I see. So, like, in... Like, Lyria, for example, it'd just be Tiny Heart, wouldn't it?
No, it could be I'm allowing people to call it Lehman's Tiny Heart if they want. I think that
I just didn't know that was a thing.
I think the rule for Lyria is that, especially like people like Lehman's and Mordekainen and all that, and all those like super powerful mages, I think they have the power to travel between material planes.
Oh yeah, that's
So
what I think.
they can just be there, do this magic. Someone's like, how the fuck did you do that? And it's like, I'll teach you, but you have to call it after me.
I'll teach you, but it's my name and my spell.
I will sign the documents to put it under my tenant.
Legally, this is mine. And that's when
This
Tiny
is
Hut comes
legally
into
my
some
spell. Do not use this spell.
Yeah, and then someone like someone invents Tiny Hut in the world, but doesn't meet Lehman, so then he has to just call it Tiny Hut to avoid plagiarism.
Yeah. Because they can't call it their name Tiny Hut because then Lehman's gonna be pissy.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. That's good to know. Didn't even think of that. I didn't realize that those sort of things existed.
Yeah, I believe.
But it makes total sense.
I believe each version, each of those spells with X person's name has their thing in there. I need to go deep into D&D lore and like read all the books and all that stuff and have a look at adventures.
Learn more about these people.
Apparently,
Right,
Tasha was raised by Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Baba Yaga or Baba Lysaga?
Baba Yaga.
Interesting.
Not the side.
Yeah, she was like taken at birth to live with a hag.
Didn't know that.
I thought Baba Lysaga was supposed to be the Baba Yaga of the D&D world. Guess not. Maybe they just
Yeah, I
want to
don't
add
know.
Fae to the shit that is Curse Shard.
You want Fae in your Shadowfell?
That's like having peanut butter in my chocolate.
That's like having a goddamn dampier that's Feylock. I don't think it works.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
You can have
I
a
mean-
Dampier that's that has an archetype patron.
Yeah. What if the Arcade patron wants to take over the Shadowfell?
You can even have a Dampier with a Celestial if you want. As long as
Illegal.
the
Oh
Celestial...
no, that makes sense because Avacyn exists in D&D.
What?
You know how Magic the Gathering is a subset of Wizards of the Coast?
Yeah.
I didn't read Ravnica.
You don't need to.
I know nothing about magic.
Well, basically Avacyn is based off of Zariel, essentially. And the thing is, she was made by a fucking vampire, so it's like a little bit more weird.
I gotta be honest, I actually forgot Demi was here.
Wow. Am I that forgettable?
No, I'm just so used to hearing your voice every session.
He's
I
been
see
quite
how it
good.
is.
If he was here, he'd have inspiration because it was Dimitri's birthday last week. But
Yeah.
he's not here, so no inspiration for him.
Oof. I get birthday inspiration?
Real life birthday inspiration, yeah. If you tell me your
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
birthday, I'll know and I can say it. But if you don't tell me, then you're not gonna get it.
Yeah, Darian.
Darian should also get inspiration, but he's choosing not to.
I have no idea what you're
I
talking
don't
about.
think Darian can get inspiration.
He
To
can.
choose it, you have to reveal. It's like a trap card.
Thing is, we all know when AJ and I know when Darian's birthday is. We're just not gonna say.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
Taz
that would be
doesn't
like
know.
a massive. I do know.
Are you sure?
You
that-
have to know.
Yes, I
You're
do.
married.
No.
You gotta marry the guy.
I've had to like, do like documents with like needing to get like official information of him. Yes,
No, there's
yes,
no
I
way.
know.
There's no way. Impossible.
And it would be a huge dick move to tell people on stream.
Of course it would
So
be.
I'm
What
not gonna
does
do
you
it.
want?
Yeah, don't dox your
Oh, no.
boyfriend. It's not
Oh,
very
no.
nice.
All this.
Share mine, but I feel it's pointless sometimes. Plus, I've never felt that there's a need to share it when you don't even celebrate it yourself.
Yeah, I don't really myself. But I
Well,
still say
Darian's
it.
birthday is the 15th of Marble.
Marble. That's a good
Yes.
I thought you were gonna
Yes,
give it like one of the
15th
months.
of Marble, everybody. It's the worst month of the year.
I thought you were gonna give it a month that's actually in Echoes.
one. Yeah.
Why would he? That'd be giving it
And
away.
then you can break
Yeah,
it.
the Echoes calendar is this a redone Gregorian calendar? So no, I'd rather not a Julian
but just-
calendar.
No,
So I'd
just
rather
pick a
not do
random,
it,
just pick a random date and month, and that way Game
No.
Master can get inspiration.
See, I like my birthday. I enjoy my birthday. I just don't like the year.
Have you tried enjoying your birthday?
You get to enjoy
Yeah, I
birthdays.
enjoy my birthday. I just forget what year I was born.
Just take the Prince approach. You only have one birthday.
2020. You're 1 year old.
You get to enjoy birthdays. That's the thing.
Yeah, I like them. I like them a little less as they go on, but I still like them.
One day you'll join the not wanting to celebrate at all.
Yeah,
Oh.
probably. I'm gonna say around the 40 mark.
I don't celebrate my birthday.
You mean the
I celebrate
eternally
it
20?
years.
Yeah, I want to be eternally 25. Thanks.
But yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't fucking know.
I want to get super
AJ,
into the
this is
Digimon
difficult.
placement. What?
Do I want cage, water, or a sewn?
A what?
I'm
Just-
slaying a spire right now. I think I've got way too many rare cards. I'm not sure if I should get rid of some.
Do it. Who's not ticked off? I'm not ticked off.
That would be me, sorry, as well.
I already did mine. I can make it a mix if
Ryan?
that makes it easier.
I'm ticked off. I believe the last one might be the empty space.
Might
That
be
is,
Jeremy or Dimitri.
Jeremy, actually.
have you ticked off, Jeremy?
Yeah, I have. How
I
dare
believe
you
it's the-
It
question-
was I forget that I wasn't involved, yet I'm still logged in.
Alright.
Alright.
I'm just remember, it does not tell the DM who does what tick, does it?
Nope.
I still feel that should be a feature, but
I will get back into game now. So now that we're in game, and we're all slapping. Yeah, I'll have everyone roll me a d20.
Everyone?
Everyone, except Dimitri.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
not
that's
fair.
a nice high roll.
I don't know if high is good though, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll begin. Osiris.
Wait, did we get Chef?
Yep, Chef is.
I rolled into the tower
Chef
without
is after
thinking.
this. Chef is next. You're in this large town square in your dream, on top of a podium. A man wearing quite gaudy attire reading from a scroll out loud to a gathered mass of people. It is agreed. All actions that can be taken have been. And it is unanimous that this is the final decision. The 5 that have been chosen... Oh, shit. Sorry, I just read your Discord message.
Ignore it, you keep going.
The 5 that have been chosen are the best for this task. As you turn, you look around, you see where the man is gesturing, you see 5 figures on a platform in the middle of the crowd. Each is attired in a different way, but you can all tell that they're spellcasters. Slowly, hands start to raise up in the crowd and a faint glow fills the air. Our final act and our greatest. The scene cuts to black, and suddenly you hear a quiet voice speak up. I'm tired. Sleep now. Dreams later. And you continue a dreamless sleep until dawn.
Uh-huh.
Chef. You fall asleep relatively quickly, and as such are already dreaming. You're surrounded by a group of warriors, mostly human with tattoos and paint covering their body where visible, not hidden by armor. They seem to look at you, and you give them a rousing speech in a dialect long forgotten by time. They all cheer and raise their weapons and quickly spread out as they begin their charge. The scene then plays out as your warriors are all making their way across the savannah. Their target seems to be a young woman, white hair with a tinge of blue shining brilliantly in the sunlight, with piercing sapphire eyes. As you and your troop get closer, she raises her hand and points at you. You see energy begin to generate, and then suddenly you're awake.
Oh.
Christine,
Yep.
you are sleeping soundly when you find yourself standing in a vast desert. The heat from the sun quickly causes you to sweat. Looking around, the only change from an empty desert are mountains that you can see in the distance. Breaking from behind these peaks is a glittering of blue that spirals up to the sky. The slight splash of colour grows larger and larger as it seems to be rushing towards you, and almost too late you see the large blue dragon with glittering scales flying back towards you. You take a few steps backwards as it suddenly dives down toward the ground, banking up just in time to avoid collision. Its mouth open wide, and as rapidly advances on you, and the last thing you see is the building of light. Building of light and its more before you suddenly wake up. I'm gonna need you to roll in the tower.
You roll her tide's favor check.
What the fuck? Okay.
Hasn't been a long
Sir
rest yet,
Pinks.
technically.
Huh. Whoa!
Your entire room is smoky.
As you wake up and you have all this, like, mist and fog cascading around your room.
Pouring out under the door and out through, like, the cracks in the window.
Yep, it does seep out.
What the fuck?
And last, Selena. You're standing on the deck of a ship with waves trying to knock you off your feet, but you reach out and grab a nearby rope and steady yourself. Warforged ready! A voice calls out over the storm. You look up and see the captain standing next to the wheel, his coat flying in the rapid winds. No! He shouts as he throws one of his hands into the air. Light bursts forth from his hand up into the sky, a signal to the rest of the fleet. All around you, movement begins as humanoids made of metal step up onto the edge of the ship, wait a moment, and then jump off, descending rapidly into the waves. The rank in front of you steps up, and you follow behind them, ready to be next. As they disappear overboard, you hear a vast rumbling, and a sudden blast of water rushes up around the ship. A body of another one of these metallic soldiers comes flying up out of the water and collides with you, knocking you back into the rank behind you. You claw yourself back to your feet, throwing the body off, multiple pierce marks in its chest revealing what happened to it. As you regain your feet, a crash of lightning in the distance illuminates the surroundings, and you see, on all sides, figures climbing up onto the deck, immediately engaging those living closest. "Boarding party!" yells the captain. You draw your sword and step up to one of the adversaries, when suddenly a burning pain strikes across your back. You drop to your knees and your vision fades as you wake up.
Well then. That was weird.
Yes, so everyone except for Osiris had a great dream, clearly. Osiris, you obviously had the worst with the dreamless sleep, as we all know.
I would have preferred that.
I'm being sarcastic.
I think I've had enough dreams, honestly.
I mean, it seems like something doesn't want me to dream.
There's clearly, like, someone, like, all of our dreams were clearly, like, deaths of sorts. Like, whether or not they were, like, had anything to do with each other, it didn't seem like it.
The worst part is I think I'm more, like, defined on that fucking building of light. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Oh, God.
Yeah, so it's the morning.
Yeah,
What are you all doing?
It's the third song, the fifth of
What?
hour.
What time roughly would you say? I want to say most of us woke up, or I don't know if it's different times.
You
Or
all stagger. It's one of those things where you can go back to sleep relatively after. It's just a middle of the night thing. But eventually, if you think this was like the last part of your dream, then probably around maybe 7 a.m.-ish.
yeah, no, if it was sort of a abrupt awakening, I imagine RD would probably go down to see if just a more relaxing aromatic tea is available. And then if others come down after that, I guess we'll probably give a wave hello, but that's about it.
I like to think mine's like an abrupt awakening because the
Yeah.
idea of like awakening and then smoke.
This is a different kind of
not pure
abrupt.
smoke, but a mist, but still. Just the idea of like a sort of a shadowy mist just covering the entire room and seeping outwards.
I think.
Yeah, you head downstairs, and... What were you saying, something? Tess?
No, I was about to say, like, I'm gonna head down for the breakfast, and that's, yeah.
Okay. You'll start making your way downstairs for breakfast. Chef, you're first, and when you get down there, you take a seat on one of the many the few tables that are around, and eventually you see Pot coming out with the dish. And goes, "Oh, so you're here? That's great. I'll bring up breakfast in a moment." And like rubbing one of their eyes, and they rush out back. And as you all make your way down, they come out with the plates of like breakfast, like pastries in a way, like croissants and whatnot, and then come back out with a pot of tea and goes, "Kettle made it first thing this morning, so it should be right and good."
Okay.
Well, enjoy, and Pot starts making their way back out to the back.
Mhm.
Just saying that everyone is now downstairs who wants to be.
I'll probably be a bit delayed, like probably confused. Realize that this is probably something that's happened through my magic. Wait a bit just to see what happens, and it just sort of dissipates, and then like another 2 minutes I'd walk down.
It's like that you open the door and just like smoke, like.
No. I'm hidden in the smoke, but I don't want to move in case they'd set something off or something like that. Who knows what the fuck I do?
Totally hotbox the room.
Maybe
see.
Pot doesn't see. Maybe Kettle will be okay with it there.
Oh my.
Lucky.
Before I come down, I'll just quickly to myself, when I wake up, will you ever have enough sleep? Expecting no response.
Yeah, you don't get one.
And I'll come down and join the rest.
Has everybody got plans for today, or was everyone free?
I'll read through the subtext. What would you like to do?
I wanna later this evening, once the fields bloom again, I want to go and look for the trial. I had no luck doing it before with only 2 sets of eyes. I was wondering maybe if we could all do it if we're not predisposed.
I had a look. I couldn't find any. Like, I found that apparently in the past there were a lot of magic users here, but I found nothing on the Devaja trial being here.
There's definitely a trial. I did find something about that. And we did locate an area last night that said it was private property, but I just don't think it would be wise going in there on my own or with just one other person.
So you want us to effectively break the law?
No, well,
Because that is trespass.
I'd like to look into whose property it is and maybe ask them if we can enter, but I don't even know if this is the right place, honestly. Like, it might just be someone's private property. I couldn't find anything on my own about the trial, and while we're here, I would really like to try and find it.
If it is like similar to the last, shouldn't there be like a building or something, or like?
It said it was under.
But we would be able to see something leading down, right?
Possibly. It could be hidden, camouflaged. Could even be an illusion for all we know. It just says, below the fields that rejoice at night's birth. Like I said, more eyes would be better to try and find anything, or even asking around the town, see if anybody knows anything. I didn't have much luck.
Well, we might as well try the source.
The source of...
Who owns the property?
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that would be probably the best idea. 'Cause if we can find that out, at least we can maybe garner some information about what is on the property.
Cough, cough. 4 charisma casters. Cough, cough.
I got no clue what you mean. I'll
Was
you
that
know my
+7 I
persuasion.
have to persuasion?
I'll have you know my persuasion's only a +5, thank you. Those innocent eyes.
I'm not gonna make-
Eventually-
Sorry, you go.
Eventually, Pot comes in with the breakfast for everyone, and coffee and tea for those who want it.
Tea.
Thank you.
No problem.
What's the breakfast?
Pastries.
Yeah, but what kind of pastries?
Yes.
Tasty.
There's like croissants and whatnot, and like a little like samosa kind of things, like the little like pasties with like a bit of like mashed vegetables in the middle of them as well.
Croissants, my favorite.
Yeah, and then there's absolutely like little chocolate croissants as well, like the very small ones off the side that have little like flowers on top of them, like stylized the pastry.
Dust bloom fowls.
I would
course.
maybe a breakfast quiche as well, if that's very old school.
Yeah,
That sounds lovely.
all made by Pot.
It's
I
legal.
love the names.
It's Pot and Kettle.
I love the name.
Yeah.
Does Pot ever call Kettle black?
Yes, yes. Someone had to say it. I
That's why
wasn't.
he's got
Or-
black hair.
Yeah. Pot has like a grayish hair and beard, but Kettle has a black hair.
I'm happy now.
Just a singular black hair.
Just only black hair on his head. Kettle has no beard.
That's unusual for a dwarf.
Indeed. Yes. Oops, sorry.
Well, after I finished my breakfast and stuff, I guess I'm gonna wait for the rest of the group to be ready, and like if everyone's agreed to help me try and ask around and search around, then yeah.
Sorry, I got noise. Yeah. So what area roughly was that section of the city in, just for my own knowledge? That was that the mid-ish, or
What's this?
like the area which was like blocked off, which they would
It's like half of the dusk view, like maybe about 2/3 into the dusk view, dusk glimpse you're in. There's just a rope.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check that because I don't think I remembered from last time. Okay. And was there any residents or anything nearby it, or?
Nope, as far as you can see, all to the south seems to be mainly just the fields. In the morning, as you guys are walking through the town, you see that there is a numerous amount of farmers and commoners. They're all watering these plants.
Oh, lovely.
Did you want to ask
I did
like-
ask around a little bit in this part of town. I think that I might head maybe further up into the richer district to see whether or not I can get any different answers.
Okay.
This is where I say looking like that, right?
This is the rich district.
Well, this is the flower area, but the rich district, you have to pass through it to get here anyway.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I'm under the impression we were still in the common area.
Now, the common area is to the north of the town, and all the flowers and stuff are to the south of the town.
Okay. Well, I asked in the common area before, so I will. I'm gonna ask around here then.
Alright, go ahead. Roll.
Is that just a flat charisma again?
Yep.
Cool.
Anyone
be
can
luck.
assist or aid or
With
help?
with assistance, I will. I'm a very talkative turtle boy.
Okay. Is that you
Yes.
rolling your own or giving her advantage?
I mean, I'll roll my own.
Okay.
Oh, please
Do your rolls.
Oh, that's so much better than last time.
Selena, Cyrus and Selena, you both get well, that section's owned by the governess, one who manages this town. Unless you've got permission or a contracted worker, usually can't enter the fields. It's off limits.
That's very helpful. Thank you so much. Where would I be able to find this governess?
She points you to that cape-like building that Darian mentioned at the start, and that's where she lives.
Thank you so much.
I want to just speak up just a little bit from the back. Why is it that part took you off limit?
Farmer the farmer not one you're talking to, but another one off there is just I don't know. Big ups say don't go there, we don't go there.
Okay.
If you see any damn kids in the fields, tell them to leave it alone as well. I've kicked them out several times already.
Sure. He just sort of looks away from him.
And now it gets back to going down, pruning some of the flowers and watering a different section.
Well, that's actually very helpful. Anyone fancy going for a walk to the keep with me?
Yeah, right.
I imagine it would give me something to do.
It just nods.
We shouldn't be surprised if we get turned away immediately for how we look.
I mean, we can change that.
Bad.
I sort of look around myself and just like,
Keep thinking that.
Are our clothes dirty looking? Mine aren't because I prestidigitate them every day.
No, I mean they've got the wear and tear of travel. Yours has, while it's clean, it's still got it's stretched and some of the frays are loose because of just weeks of travel and not really purchasing anything else. But yeah,
I mean, if you really want, I could offer to potentially wear something a little more fine to get in, if it's just information.
I'll quickly go around the group and cast mending on all the starting to wear and tear clothing, so it's all nice looking.
yeah, you fixed up your clothes.
So what did you mean by that, Hardy?
I'm saying I do carry around some clothes I don't wear while traveling. And I seem to have a way of communicating with others.
You're more than welcome to change into them if you think that it'll help.
Is there an alley nearby?
Yeah.
You're not going to change outside, are you?
Mm,
Someone
does
might
it
see you.
matter?
Oh, it just... I'm sure it'll be fine.
I repeat my question to the guards. Is there an alley nearby or a place I can just go behind?
Yeah.
You head up to like if you want to do down in the fields, there are areas with like hedges that come up to about neck height on most people, so you can like duck down and change there. Or if you want to head up to like the more hoity-toity area of town, there are areas you can find.
Yeah, I'll step away from the group briefly to go do that, and also slightly change to make my fur look a little cleaner.
Yeah. Okay.
I think is the term I would use. Just make a note in my inventory, which I'm wearing right now.
Fancy clothes.
As you all get prepared, you all begin the walk up to the keep. You see Chef looking slightly different, but still the chef that you know and love.
for some reason I have fine clothes as well in my inventory. Don't know
Sport,
why.
it's a uniform.
I think you bought some.
That's why. That's why. Yeah. No.
Oh.
Why is that in there?
I have a costume.
That works.
As you all get all prettied up all you want, you make your way to the keep, you see two guards standing at the front door. Morning party, they ask what's going on here.
We were just wondering if we can inquire with the governess about a certain location. I am in thought to believe that it could possibly have something to do with a trial. It's sort of like a priestess thing, like Devaja trial.
The
And
two guards just kind of look at each other a bit confused.
not many people know about that.
Do you have a scheduled appointment?
Unfortunately, no, but we won't take very much of her time.
Just as unfortunately, the Baroness Dahlia. Fuck, how did we do this?
Dahlia Lily.
Dahlia Lily.
Dahlia Lily.
Dahlia Lily is a very busy
Dahlia
woman.
Ali.
Dahlia Ali is a very busy woman, unfortunately.
What?
It's rather hard to schedule an unannounced audience. We can try and book an appointment now for sometime later in the week.
Unfortunately, we have fairly limited time, I'm afraid. We do need to find this place within the full moon cycle.
Oh,
I need to message
I
her.
have something of a magical nature to offer her if that intrigues her enough to meet with us for a few words.
Magical.
I could stand here and explain the intricacies of it, but no offense, I feel like it could fall upon deaf ears.
well, we've trained with wizards before, so
Oh,
We're not
fantastic.
common street guards, mate. We're guarding the door to the Baroness herself. Well, not her door, but, one of her doors.
Right. Okay, and I pull out a piece of chalk. I say, well, this is technically, I don't know, a colloquial term, but I've come to know it as a chalk of entering. This could be used for many different properties, mostly of perhaps a stone wall or some sort of obstruction in your way. You simply draw a circle and you pass right through it as if it wasn't there.
Huh? The one guard looks at the other one and just like, it's like his head kind of tilts a bit, and he looks back at you and is like, "Did she ask for the chalk?"
Well, if we could have this meeting, then I could find out whether she did or not. I'll play mind games.
Seems like you're just saying that you've got a way to break an enter if we say no.
Is that legal?
Yeah, but if I wanted to do that, why would I bring that up in the first place?
I don't
I'm
know.
hoping to go get this the
You
right
might
way.
have very big balls, sir.
We
Like,
would most definitely not do
I just look down at my crotch region, which is just shell.
Well, perhaps I might be able to propose something that could be a bit more urgent.
oh,
What if I had to give some news to the Baroness involving potential criminals coming through here?
we would
It
know.
could be quite urgent and be a threat to her life.
If it's something that is that important, that I feel like it should be more the captain of the guards.
Sometimes the guards don't have authority over some things.
No, they do.
They have
That's their
authority over
job.
this town.
That's
Literally,
that's their job.
yeah.
Allow me to reword it then. What if the guard, the captain of the guards as you put it, was one of the people that would put her more at risk by knowing?
She handpicked him. Like, worked with him.
You know what? Greg, you take this. I'll go inquire, okay, for you fellas?
Yeah,
Okay. And
alright.
the one just like looks at you all, and then just like opens the door behind him a little bit, closes it, and then you see the sense like footsteps retreating.
I like how like all this is
Just as
happening.
soon as he walks in the door, he hears in his head, I suggest that you let them in though.
Casting suggestion.
I don't have suggestion, man.
Oh,
Well then, you see like when you hear like as the door, right when the door's about to shut, he goes, "What the? Okay." God.
God, is that you?
He seems confused, and then
It's all
like,
about
there's a brief
sowing the
pause,
seeds.
and then he keeps like walking.
I like to imagine while this is all happening, I'm just kind of like walking around, just looking around the area because like I have no input into this conversation, so I'm just kind of just.
I'm assuming we've moved back a little bit, or
Yeah,
are we still like...
you've got benches there to sit down on, like outdoors ones. It's a very, it's very like, while it is like very structurally like much like a keep, there is still some like nice poshness to it. There is a very big there's a very big garden with a full-on like marble fountain that's going on. It's like a mix of both like fanciness and like structural integrity. As
Probably interested in that.
as Greg the guard looks up, turns to Osiris like, so you got a permit for the chalk or?
And then explain to me how I would go about getting a permit if it was required in the first place. Seeing as I'm such a far traveller, and that would be a lot of documentation, because different places have different laws.
So it was just a joke.
Do you need permits for that stuff?
Well then perhaps next time on the delivery, put a little more emphasis or emotion into it, because if you just like flat face it all the time, everyone's going to assume that you're just a serious asshole.
Do you need a
Holy-
Alright.
permit? That's the harsh, man.
I have been on this earth for hundreds of decades. No, decades. A century. I don't know. Whatever makes sense.
You would have learned not to be an asshole then, wouldn't you?
I'm sorry, but the only asshole here is you, my friend.
I'm just doing my job, I'm a fucking god!
Osiris.
At this time, when like that's happening,
Don't patronize me, young lady.
at this time like
Here we go.
that's happening, you guys are like, I'm just a guy. The door opens, and the other one steps, and he stops and looks at it and goes, "What'd you say to Greg?" He steps forward and closes the door behind him.
It's alright. No, it's okay. No, it's too good for us.
That's fine. You know what? Mr. I don't know your name. What's your name?
Osiris.
Mr. Osiris. Lovely to meet you. I passed on the word to Miss Dahlia Lily herself, and she told me, and I'm going to quote this for you. Why would I want some chalk? I am the Baroness. I can get anywhere I want. And then to you, and he turns towards RD, who's walked away for a bit. Let's come back at this point. It's been a few minutes. And she said, and I'm going to quote you again, if someone is trying to kill me, try it.
Did you not ask about the Devaja thing?
What's the Devaja thing? You said some priest thing.
Yeah.
Priestess. It's very old, and not many people know about it. Could I possibly?
Should I go ask about the priest?
Sure, you go. Yeah.
Drake goes inside. He grabs, as you say, he grabs like a handkerchief from his arm and starts dabbing his face.
He is in his head. Have fun.
What?
You stop that as he points to the other one. Points to Osiris.
He can't see me do shit. What are you talking about?
I'm assuming he's gone.
You heard his feelings. He knows.
Okay.
He starts to leave. We can catch him before he leaves if you want to.
Do I have any paper on me at the moment?
Look at your bag. You have paper.
One moment. I bet you I don't. Although I do have my diary. I always take my diary with me.
The diary is a non-corporeal thing that does not count towards physical things.
So I can't just rip a page out?
I'm gonna say no, because the idea of the diary, technically, books are expensive. We let people have diaries on the point of like, hey, you have something to write notes in game, and you can't tear pages out because that's just fair. Like printing infinite money.
I thought I had a book on me. No, I just got ink and ink pen. And I got some parchments. I got literally one sheet of parchment left.
Would I be able to take a small scrap of that?
Just hand you the sheet and the pen and the ink.
I want to write a little note on it and pass it to the guard.
I'm gonna make sure.
I will send you what the note says.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna double check to make sure what the actual number is because I haven't used any of these yet.
Yeah, you stop him as he's about to leave. Like you get his attention, they stop. It's like the door's like half open. He's standing there, and they're waiting for you to quickly scribble this thing out.
10 sheets.
The whole time, the unnamed guard is just like giving Osiris kind of like a constant frown, while the other one's just like looking away.
I like look between like the sort of like slight like sort of like not aggression, but just like the sort of like why'd you do that? Like sort of thing between Osiris and the guard. I'm just looking like what happened? Like I obviously just wasn't paying attention for that like well enough. It's like what happened?
Sorry.
It's okay.
This is sort of like
We'll just say
on the fly.
the note is passed along, so you keep typing what goes. Yeah, that guy takes the note and leaves. The other one's just like looking at Osiris, saying nothing.
It's not my fault. It's got no backbone.
Well, this is going swimmingly, so I'm going to go over there for a few moments and relax while you figure out what you're doing.
Yeah, don't go far. And looks at Osiris like, you don't know him. Don't judge the man.
I'm sorry, but if someone is so susceptible to such words, kind of makes it peculiar how they're a front guard. Look, I'm sorry.
You don't say that to me, you say that to him.
Is everything okay, Cyrus?
Are you to a thing?
He just stands there, and then just like, so what?
No, so nothing. Just, I've only heard that workplace romance can breed calamity, is all. Just be careful.
Listen, mate, we're a great team here. You can't get between us even if you wanted to.
What is happening?
Hang on.
Oh god. You just let me imagine like just looking like.
I take 2 psychic damage from trying to comprehend this person.
That's very fair. You can tell by talking. He's not the brains of the group, but he's certainly the confidence.
Well, I hope it works out well for you two.
I'm sure it will.
Better than mine did.
He just pauses for a moment there, like looks confused, and he's like, I don't know what to say to that. He just keeps staring at you, and then kind of awkwardly looks around and is like, if you would like, you could wait over there with your friend.
I appreciate the offer, but I'm good here, thank you.
We want
Fair
to wait
enough.
for the other one to come back, don't we? So we should probably be here.
Well, actually, you have to wait for your friend to pass on a metaphysical message that's taken a bit.
I'm sorry, I'm nearly done.
I thought it was meant to be a quick note.
I'm sorry, I have to get a little bit of
Message.
details.
It's going very well.
I cast essay.
I'm nearly done. I'm sorry, I'm bad with words.
This is
I
why
love
you
that
limit
game.
yourself to like 20 words.
Thank you.
Yeah, but then I won't be able to get my... that's okay.
Technically, message is longer than sending if you say it really quickly.
We'll take a pause until the message is
Done.
received.
I'm gonna go to the toilet.
It's just I've given like the rough things to it. I'm like the ending part can just be like, you know, like the usual like niceties. But you get the gist.
Okay.
Yeah. A couple, like, at this point when, like, the awkward silence kind of settling, that's when the other Greg comes back out.
Greg, before you speak, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I've had a rough month.
You're doing a fantastic job.
The Baroness says she'll have a meeting with only you. She points to Selena.
That is perfectly understandable. I appreciate her hospitality.
And, I'll take you to him. And Greg leads you through the keep. It's mostly stone and structure.
Just before Selena leaves, have we come to the conclusion whether or not I can use the telepathy to, in someone's mind, grant them a bardic inspiration?
Ooh.
I'll allow it for this. We'll come back to it for
Thanks.
later things, but for now we'll allow it.
Okay, so before you leave, Selena, you hear, you got this, just all the important information first.
She just smiles and goes in.
And you have one of them.
Yeah, you let inside. The inside of the building looks very like. So when you approach this building, it looks pretty gaudy. It's very like the stones themselves like polished, and everything looks like there's flowers and stuff on the little balconies, and it's a very like fancy looking building from the outside, which is a bit of stark contrast to the interior. As almost as soon as you pass through the threshold, the door closes. It's a very Spartan interior. As everything, it's like there is no tapestries on the walls. There are no like fancier rugs. There's like nothing out of place. It doesn't seem to be for a particular purpose. And the man leads you up the set of stairs right away and like down a small hallway, knocks on a door, announces that you're here for the meeting, and you step in. And as soon as you walk in, you see a older woman with black hair that has like silver streaks running through it. And she's like very tight face of someone who's like been out in the sun a lot, but is clearly wearing their age. And she's just like sitting there writing something on a table, not even looking up at you as you enter. There is only one chair in the room, and she's sitting on it.
That's fine. I will sort of slowly approach the area that she's at, and I'm assuming she doesn't look up the whole time.
Yeah, she's just writing as you move in, waiting for a moment as like when you get into what you probably think she determines as the correct position to be in the room, she speaks up and goes, "All right, this is a quick meeting. Speak. What do you want?"
I appreciate your hospitality.
Yes, I'm sure. Everyone's here for a reason. What is your reason?
I'm interested in a possibility of a shrine in your private property on the Dusk Bloom Fields.
There is no shrine in the Duskbloom Fields.
Can I roll insight on that?
Feel free.
Okay.
Are we hearing this as well?
No, this is like inside the building.
But inside, okay, cool. So it's just her.
You can't really get a read on this woman. She hasn't even looked up from what she's writing the whole time.
You could add your bardic inspiration to that.
Yeah, but I want to hold it for like other things. Actually, no. I'm just gonna roll the bardic inspiration on top of that. Actually, because I probably won't get a chance to do it otherwise.
12.
Always
Yeah.
a win.
Unfortunately, you can't really get a read on this woman.
Do you possibly know of a shrine in this area? I have heard that there is a Devaja trial around. I just don't know exactly where.
I don't exactly know what this Devaja is you speak of, but there are shrines. If you merely want to know the location of shrines, there are many priests who can point you in the right directions.
It's more of a trial per se, rather than shrine. It specifically states that it should be underneath Duskbloom Fields. So I was trying to look for like possibly a cave or something like that.
As soon as you say underneath the fields, there's like a brief pause in the writing, and then she writes something else, puts the quill in like the pot. After they pulls the quill back in the pot of ink to the side, sands the paper quickly without saying anything, and then folds up whatever she was writing and tucks it off to the side. Is like finally looks up to you for the first time, and then she pulls the note out from a different part of the table and reads out, "I'm closely affiliated with the Ghislanian royal family and physical blah blah." Okay. So you want to know something underneath the fields, and you're affiliated with the Ghislanians? Why are the Ghislanians interested in what's underneath the Duskbloom Fields, if there is anything there?
The Ghislanians aren't interested in the field, I am. And I was originally part of the royal family, but I have abdicated that. I've been sent on a journey of prophecy of sorts.
If you've abdicated, then I wouldn't really call you closely affiliated, would I?
Well, I am of the blood.
But you've abdicated.
I still have the blood. Just not the title. This prophecy is very important, and it's of paramount that I find these trials for the good of people. I mean, no hassle other than to find a location for this trial and be on my way.
She's like stares at you for a moment, like it's like almost like steel gray, like kind of like colored eyes. So she's like staring you down, kind of like doing that whole thing where it's like seeing who blinks first for a moment. There is nothing of any value under the fields. The only thing out there is locked away because it's dangerous. We don't want people falling in and getting hurt. There isn't a trial down there. There's just a room. I don't think it'd be of any interest to you.
I found a room, and no one could figure out what that room was. And I opened it, and there was a trial there. I was the only person who could open that room. You might not believe me, but these trials do exist. And if it may be dangerous, I'm willing to risk myself. You need not worry. I will be out of your hair as soon as this is done. It is very important that I find these.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I should have left the bardic inspiration for this.
Take the Av.
Oh, that's okay. That's a 19.
As you're saying this, she's just like staring at you, her like face completely like it's like a stone mask as she's looking at you. And when you finish, she just gives like one quick nod and is like, "I like you. Okay. Here." And she like grabs a quick note, writes this quick thing down and goes, "There you go. If anyone tries to stop you, give this to them, tell them to leave you alone. It'll work for tonight and tonight only."
Thank you so much for this. You won't hear of me again.
I doubt that. And she just sits, like goes back to writing.
And I excuse myself. I'm assuming the guard was waiting at the door
Yeah, he's just
to
sitting
escort
there.
me.
Ooh. It was a good joke. Other people liked it.
I think it was a fantastic joke.
Oh shit.
No,
did it go
I
well?
apologize to my friend. It went fantastic. I just want you to know that our friend he can be rather prickly sometimes. He's a little bit on the older side, and I apologize if he hurt your feelings.
It's fine. Just not a good day to have that on me. Just get you home. Starts leading.
Well, I think you're doing a fantastic job, Greg.
I needed that.
Needed that. Leads you back down.
And I want to prestigitate him as well.
Give him a hug.
He looks so
Yeah.
funny.
Just like,
After a
like
minute.
just to give him like a pep talk and just like, fix up his collar and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, after a minute or so, he leads you back down. It's like down the hallway, down the stairs, and back outside. For everyone there, it's only been like 3 or 4 minutes, and she's back outside.
So she gave me like a note, didn't she?
Yeah.
Did you?
So I sort of walk out like kind of like I keep like a fairly blank face, like it sort of looks like maybe I didn't have like the best of luck. And then I just smirk and hold the note up.
Do you read the note?
Yeah.
I will read the note.
Alright, the note literally says, it just says, the one holding this note is allowed access to the government fields on the, in the Duskbloom, whatever, I'm making this up on the spot. Basically says you're allowed into the area. It has the date on it, and then says, if they are still at present by the time the sun rises in the morning, arrest them.
Oh.
Well, I guess I'm going to be doing this as soon as the fields light up, if anyone would like to come with me.
I mean, of course.
Oh wait, I'm not back over there yet. I'm chilling.
You can be back over there if you want.
No, I'm a chill.
Fair enough.
How far away are you chilling? Are you within eye shot?
Yeah, she's within eyeshot of the door. They're only like about 15, maybe 30 feet away on like a little bench.
So, who wants to
Is
come
that-
with me?
Note specifies that it's pretty much going to be you, though.
That's what I was afraid. But we surely can maybe get around that. I think.
I don't want any of you to be incriminated for this. I don't want anyone to get in trouble
I'm
for
done.
this. Maybe I can't say no because you'd just go anyway. But I think that maybe it should just be us two. Larger groups would just cause problems. I don't want anyone to get arrested on my path, basically.
Well, you remember the trial that we have all been through. It was difficult for the lot of us, let alone a smaller amount.
I don't think every single trial is the same. What's the, can I get the wording on that again? So it's clearly just me.
You can read into it whatever you want. It just says
Yeah.
it's like the bearer of this note is allowed access to the restricted area in the Duskbloom Fields, owned by the government, owned by the barony of Duskview. If they are still present on in this location by the time dawn has arrived, arrest them. And it's
Well, it did
signed
say
by the
them.
Baroness.
But that could just be
Arrest
not the
them in
plural.
particular.
Like that person.
Yeah.
We should be able to swindle our way through that semantic.
I could always through the as awful as this sounds, I could bodyguards. I don't really like that.
Hey, worst thing they can do is when we go to enter, they say, "Lol, no."
they could arrest us. Well,
They
not
could
me.
try to.
I don't really want to fight guards.
Neither do I.
It's
But-
entirely up to you.
An escape strategy is probably best in mind, just in case. So I might go ready up the cart, and the horses and everything, just in case shit turns sour.
Probably wait
I
until
will
later
stay
tonight
with the
and
cart
go.
if you want me to, and as soon as I see you guys booking, I'll get ready to go.
Okay. You
Because
sure
it
you
seems
not
like
us?
Christine is going regardless.
You sure you wanted to just be us?
I might ask Artie. She seems like the sneaky type. Maybe she might be interested in learning more about these
Profiling.
trials.
How it is.
Well, you are the sneaky type. You always sneak off.
Sure, that's the sneaky type.
Mm-hmm.
You may
Yeah.
approach, I'm not, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach. So it looks like we'll be able to go into the private property, and there is possibly a trial there. I don't know if you're interested in that or not.
I have a task at mine, but by we, how many are we referring to?
Well, the note does say
Might I have a look at it?
yes.
Okay,
Here's
I
the note.
imagine I read through the exact context that was given before.
It's a very short note, yeah.
Yep. I will hand it back. Wait, did it have a signature on it?
Yes, it had the signature of the Baroness. Baroness. Fuck, what's her full name?
Dalili?
Baroness Gertrude Dalili.
Dalili.
Well,
Dalili.
I hate to be this sort. Well, I personally have no issue getting into places as long as it's not harming anyone. This is unfortunately specifying, from what I can tell, only one entry, and that's the one holding it.
Yeah, it is a little vague, but you're
But
correct. I
then
do not
maybe-
expect you to break the law on my part. I don't want anyone to have to break the law.
Well, there may be a side part to this downside. I may be able to find some people that are capable of forging a signature, or at least skilled in doing such. I'm implying that if you really want to drag people in with you, it might be worth altering the agreement.
I only have tonight to do it. So unless those people are close, then possibly
That's
not.
I'm not sure how to answer that. Look, I could go and ask around a little. Maybe I'll be able to find someone, maybe I won't. Give me a couple of hours.
Okay. Well,
Should we head back and recuperate for the moment?
Yeah, I think that might be the best idea.
Hmm.
Again, forgery seems just as illegal as walking in and assuming that I could bring people with me.
It's more to give a little bit more time. That's all it is.
You guys are real lucky we got our ears covered, huh?
Hmm?
Still in the garden with
I
two
assume
guards.
we were a little bit away from
No,
that.
assume-
no, you don't assume shit. You say you left. You don't assume anything.
Okay, let me reword that.
Got
Yeah,
a point.
I walked away. We never specified how far, though.
You walked away in the garden.
Yeah.
So
So this conversation might have been whispered somewhat, but
Stage whispering. If you really wanted to, yeah, you can make this so you aren't overheard by those two guards who are probably still watching you all from the front gate.
I assume we were far enough away, but yes, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be talking like out loud about forging signatures.
I don't know. It seems like a pretty simple topic to talk about.
I will, however, have to request one thing for the magical gods in the sky. Am I able to do an investigation to see if I can recognize the type of paper and such that this was written on?
Mine.
Whether it's common or whether I'd have to go out of my way to find something like this.
It's not magic paper.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank
You
you.
would have to investigate. It's paper.
it doesn't
It's not
have
like
a border
animal hide or anything.
or
It's just paper.
typeface. It's just paper.
It's just
Does
paper
it
with
have
a
a
sign.
peculiar scent? That's
No,
perhaps
it's just
hers?
paper.
That's fine.
Is it fine paper or paper?
Want to talk about a chair? I'll talk about a fucking chair.
Is it 3 legs or 4 legs?
It's got
It's
enough
paper.
legs to kick your ass.
Look, either way, with all this said, Artie is going to get up, sort of give, that sort of backwards wave, something like a pompous prick would do. I'm fancy dressed, I might as well. That backwards wave, and I'm just like, I'm walking off.
As you're about to walk off to the group, it's like, hey turtle, I wish your travels shell. And then he finger guns you.
What?
Hang on. I wish your travels. Well, okay. I give a. Hang on.
I was waiting on that.
Jesus Christ.
Are you kidding me? AJ.
The moment
I
he
give
said-
what appears to be a well-amused chuckle.
I'm used.
As you all walk off, we will time skip until night time, unless you want to have scenes.
I don't have a scene, but I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I be able to get the rings
Yes.
tonight? Okay.
You go by as close to when they're about to close, and you come in and they're like, oh, we just finished them. Here you go. And you give them money, they give you 2 rings. Boom, diggity done.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
I'd be waiting at the fields, just waiting for the glow to start.
You get a lot of weird looks from the gardeners because they're not used to people being there before it's almost sunset, and they're just going around pruning and watering, get everything ready. So you get a couple strange looks, but I doubt you give a shit.
She didn't care.
Yeah.
Roll perception.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So time has passed.
Yeah.
Adi, you were planning on doing something?
I would have let Artie know where I was going to be. by the
Yeah,
way.
so
Yeah,
I had to mute because background noise. The intention was essentially to spend probably a course of a few hours just finding a general store to get what would essentially be the necessary supplies for, what would be the equivalent of a forgery kit. I'd probably go to 1 or 2 stores just to make it not look so obvious, but if possible. What would price-wise I be looking at?
I have a bit of forgery kit.
Oh, you have the note with you.
It'll be
I
about
needed
15
to
gold.
I
simply
think I
have a good
would-
look at it, unless you did legit
No,
lend it to
I would
get
have
that.
taken it back.
It would have been about 15 gold.
Yep, that's fine. I can work with that. So I'll do the math in a second. Just gonna note that down. Then yeah, I probably would have spent maybe an hour just forging the same document a couple times, and potentially an alternative one, which is basically you and whoever you're accompanied by.
Okay.
The signature would be the part I'd have to focus on forging the most, I imagine.
Roll a forgery kit check.
Don't. Wait, no, I do.
If
No,
you're
I don't have a
proficient in them,
I'm
yeah.
proficient. I just don't have it set up as a skill.
Alright, well, it'd be rolled with probably either intelligence or wisdom.
Say, I can quickly Google this.
What do you think, AJ? Intelligence or wisdom?
I think
Or
maybe-
honestly, or dexterity.
Dexterity's for quick, though. I'm gonna say probably intelligence, because it's an exact
Alright.
replica that you're trying to
Yeah.
Just to match the way she writes, and to match the signature well enough that someone won't notice it.
Yeah, basically just let you add your proficiency onto it. So I'll be flat intelligence check with
made it
+2.
+2.
So that
So
would
it'd be
be
a
19.
20.
No, 20.
Yeah, well, you write your own version of the note.
Nice.
You get a pretty damn good job, honestly. It matches the only thing that's maybe someone might be even questioning at is there is a bit of a seal, but you get with part of the forgery kit is you have sealing wax, and you use a blade and some other stuff to try and copy the seal down. It's not 100% perfect, but it's a pretty
Little on
damn
the
good
rusty
copy.
side, as I haven't had to do it in a while.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn good copy though.
Yep. And after that, I'll go to the location she gave me and approach. Not suspiciously, just normal approaching.
I like to have
Actually,
to point that out.
yeah, I guess I'll walk up, assuming you're not looking that way.
Oh, how did you
Well,
go?
I just went to, as I said, take care of some business. Here you go. As I will hand over both an extra copy and, well, the alternative copy, depending on which she prefers. Let's just say I have ways. If you truly insist on me coming in with you, I would much rather do it like this.
I understand. And you here have how much did the kit cost you?
Don't worry about the cost.
No, it's only fair.
Trust me, it's not of concern to me.
Well, I guess I owe you one. I don't like breaking the law. I just
Well, you should have thought about that before you took on these trials.
the whole idea of the trials was to work towards the betterment of mankind and all that fun stuff. So there wasn't really a whole lot about breaking the law in my studies and training.
Let's just get this out of the way. Would I have put the offer out for anyone else to come along while I was going back here, or?
I mean, Annex
thinking-
would go if you guys wanted to. The Cyrus is doing his thing with the cart, so
I
It's
guess I'd
literally
put the
the
offer
four of
out to... Yeah, I'd put the offer out to Cyrus, but assuming he's busy. Christine, I'd ask, do you want to come along?
Christine's definitely coming
Yeah.
along.
Yeah.
She's already like
Yeah, if you're already there, then you get a copy of the note anyway.
Because I kind of
Um,
assumed that she was already there with Selena.
Yeah, and I guess in the case of God, my mind is blanking. You just said it, and I can't. Okay, you know what I mean. Yeah. I'll leave that up to you if Annex comes along. If not, I probably would have suggested Annex, Sister Cyrus, but
if you want
Sure, Annex is with Osiris. There you go.
the three of you
I'm gonna travel alone.
wait for darkness.
Mhm.
And as the moon comes up, the flowers once again begin to glow, and you all slip under the rope to begin your search for you. Eventually, go on.
Sorry. I'll make a point that if anyone does sort of come across this, it'll be me that shows my note
Okay.
initially. And if they do ask to see the other ones, then yeah.
Alright. After about half an hour, you eventually find a small rusted hatch with the symbol on the iron, partially covered in rust, obscuring what it could be. A newer but relatively old lock connects the door to a chain that's been dug into the ground.
It's locked. And she didn't give me a key, did she?
Nope.
I don't know anyone that can break locks. Don't ask.
Yes, you do.
Hmm.
He's just back in Tide's favor.
Probably should have used
Uh,
knock.
I can, I think, do something about this.
Oh,
It will destroy the chain.
Switch back to my travel. There we go.
is there anybody around at all? Or are we like pretty much alone?
Since it's like before, where when the sun finally set and the field started to glow, these ones are even like there's less patches in the flowers. Almost all of them are glowing. Most people that were in the fields as sunset came tend to leave and head up towards the hill where there is some kind of like structure up there that even from this distance you can see like lights and people are sitting around looking out of the fields.
Are we kind of obscured by the glow?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can break it. I think I can try.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to sort of kneel down towards it,
Mhm.
and I'm going to cast Burning Hands. I'm going to use a sorcery point to transmute that to acid damage as I concentrate it solely on the chain. Like,
All right, roll
Clever.
damage.
It's
It's-
casted automatically at second level because it's the innate thing. Just double checking that. I believe it is second. So
And it's a saving throw, which it fails because it's a chain.
As you grab onto the chain, with its olden state, it begins to rust quickly and it fractures as you pick it up.
Mhm.
The chain is now loose.
there you go.
Thank you. I'll
It's-
push the door open.
Lifting the door is a bit heavy, and surprisingly though, the like hinges don't squeal, even though they look like this thing is mostly covered in rust. But as you get it up, you notice some stone stairs just going down into like near pitch black.
I'll cast light as a cantrip.
Stone stairs going down into a dark room.
As you...
I'll just.
Go on.
I was just saying, like, as we go down, I'll just hold a light orb like in my hand, just a ball of light.
As you begin your descent down the stone steps, you eventually hit the bottom and are in a room. Many workbenches lay around, topped with a combination of rusted metal tools and fragments of glass, the purpose of which you are lost on. As you look up to where you expect to see more stone, you instead see the earth above. If looking at night, I read that even though it was in comments, the small beads of light seem to be moving on the roof. Sometimes they drop to the floor next to you, forming a small puddles of white glowing liquid.
I'm gonna
Hold
roll
on.
a perception, see if I can see anything around of note.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
No, this is like in character, just before I start moving around. Just hold on 1 second. Then I'm just gonna pull out,
I
like,
didn't roll it properly.
fine. I'm gonna pull out one of the platinum rings. Take this. If anything happens, just try to protect you.
Okay. I take the ring.
Everyone does. Box 4.
Oh yeah.
God.
I can do that. Just add a platinum ring basically to your inventory. Worth 50 GP at least.
The two of you also looking around for stuff, aiding in Selena's role, or what's going on?
I
It
don't
is
have
rather-
dark vision.
Well,
There
there's
is a
light because
Light.
Sure, it'd be limited, but
it's basically. Do you want to make your own roll, or do you want to assist Selena with her roll?
I'm gonna assist Selena by holding light near her.
I'll
She
make
has
that
dark
I
vision.
also have light, and I will cast light to, like, basically, like, centered in the middle of the room, pretty much.
All right, so Tez, Selena make one with advantage, and RD make one flat.
I was going to do disadvantage, but
There's two
okay.
people walking around with orbs of light that shed 30 feet of light, so you're good.
I'll just roll another perception just to sit
Yeah.
on top of that one. Oh my goodness.
Roll that again.
Why did I roll just a d20? What am I doing?
Are you
Roll-
spending your
roll-
inspiration to let her roll
Yeah.
again?
Roll that
There you go, honey. Roll it again.
No, I rolled just a d20.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even roll.
Yeah, but that's a 5.
It's fine.
So
Yeah.
roll
Thank
it again.
you.
So roll more.
Roll that again.
roll one more flat.
Getting late. I haven't used it yet.
Hey!
There you go, 20.
Thanks,
As
Kim.
both of you
Okay.
spend some time looking around to find any source of what could be at the start of the trial, you find hidden in the stone a long metal box.
Yeah, you don't seem to find any, like, big hidden doorway or anything like that. The only thing you really find of note amongst it all is, this long metal box.
Is it, like, heavily pushed into the...
It's
The
in the
wall,
wall.
or-
It's like it's in the wall, but it doesn't look like there's room for it to move and stuff. But you just find that instead of like a piece of stone.
Okay. I'm thinking I might pull this out, but I'm going to let people know before I do this, just in case people have any qualms with me pulling this out.
Alright.
I just sort of look, like you ask, and just give a nod.
I will gently try to pull the box out.
It's a little.
It
heavy.
comes out. Yeah, it's a little heavy, but it comes out relatively easily. It doesn't seem to be locked in by any similar method.
But you do see a time-aged lock that's like got like there's a loop on the box itself that's like it's latched with a lock.
All these locks. Wow.
Well, I don't think I can help much with the lock knowledge. If this is something special to your heritage. Perhaps. Perhaps spilling blood on the box? I don't.
Oh, it did work last time.
It was more of an offhanded comment.
Surprisingly, last time I did have to spill a small amount of blood to be able to start the trial, so you're kind of right. It's worth a try. What's a little bit of blood anyway? I'll just gently nick the tip of my thumb with, like, I believe I have a dagger.
Yeah. What are you putting the blood on? The box? Like where?
The lock.
Lock?
Directly on the lock.
As soon as you like reach out and touch the lock with your thumb, it just crumbles immediately into dust.
Oh. Well, there you go. The lock itself? Just the lock?
Yeah, just the lock.
Awesome. I open the box.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Dex save.
As you open the box,
No, con save. No.
you
Oh,
see
okay.
several items glowing. A few blades of different lengths and a jar that seems to be sealed quite tightly. Amidst these items is a sheet of aged vellum with the following description written on it.
Send it to them, let them read it if they want. Did we make a note in the actual fantasy grounds for
Yes,
this
I
AJ?
did.
Oh, thank God.
I'm going to copy this over if that's okay.
Yeah, feel free to read it out loud if you want as well. Just to be like, you found this, read it.
Okay. Research sample number 45, Duskbloom Essence Mark 45. The process of distilling the essence from the flowers has gone extremely well. It seems that the flowers themselves are magical in nature, allowing for it to be used in exchange for material components of spells that use or require the moon. The refined essence so far appears to alter the usual magic process of the blooms and has allowed for a variety of different experiments. Enclosed are the most recent of our application experiments that proved fruitful. We have begun applying the essence to weapons to see what exactly would happen. It seems we have had some minor success. Applying it to several metallic weapons with a higher component of steel in their construction allows the blade to absorb the refined essence easily. The results then produce a novel weapon, one that glows slightly, providing light. While helpful for some, it does not increase a weapon's practical application, but would make a good present for nobles, I assume. The next step is to experiment with a more condensed version of the essence and see if the effects are enhanced or changed yet again. Signed, Valenio Martinez, 5th chapter, 3rd page, Alchemist and Enchanter.
Near the signature of this document, you see a little symbol that's impressed in, somehow still lasting after all this time. And it's a symbol that you actually recognize from the past, all the way back from Drakazul, when you were reading a book that mentioned a group called the Council of Priestess.
That was and we went to the Tomb of Priestess for the Devaja trial. Could I possibly get a copy of this that I can actually copy and paste?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Because I will write it down. Thank you.
I'll just drop it in Discord.
Thank you.
I do remember this symbol.
Yeah.
That was the Council of Priestess, if I believe, which the first trial was at the Tomb of Priestess. I believe they probably have something much to do with these Devaja trials, or at least, yeah, a decent part.
So then we are on the right track.
It would seem so. Well, we have glowing blades. It looks like possibly these ones were designed just to look pretty, but they were trying to make a condensed version of it. It's interesting, but it's not, I'm assuming it's not what I'm here for.
I'm just curious if they would have tried combining it with something like, would Nightbane be a thing in this world?
That's
sorry.
poison.
You know what I mean. Yeah. I guess poisons in general is what I'm trying to say. If they wanted a practical application, sorry for interrupting.
That's fine.
I'll say in the box, the things you find, by the way, there is one, I believe, longsword, AJ?
Yes, there is a... Sorry, I had the wrong thing with parcels. There is one dagger, one longsword, 5 arrows, this jar, and 20 strangely marked gold coins.
I will take all of those things, and we can take them back to the group and figure out who wants what and what we're going to do with them. So there's no doors around anywhere. Like there's really nothing that sort of shows that there is.
Yeah,
And
from
the
moving around the
tables are
room.
just like, they're not like stone slabs or anything like that. They're just like work tables.
They seem to be like some of them seem to be made of like metal. Most of them actually are. But from looking at them and the time you spend reading that note, you realize this is like some form of workshop that was under the fields.
Surely there's got to be something else nearby. I mean,
You'd think so. It's gotta be. This can't just be all. This isn't a trial, this is just a research center. A very old research center.
I mean, maybe something here can be used elsewhere, but still, I feel like there should be something else.
It was possible trial locations. Maybe this has just got something to do with this council of priests had some kind of setup here. Just trying to remember the wording of the book. It was possible trial locations.
Man, wish I had detect magic.
Yeah, wouldn't that have been a good spell to grab?
I probably
I
should
know.
have turned it to that, but I thought that someone else was going to grab it.
Nope.
I can't assist in the magic department, but I can at least feel around the walls.
Can only swap one
I'm
spell out.
going to help Chef with that. Just sort
So you
of
do
like...
another round of the check.
Yeah, I may as well.
I do an investigation check this time.
Okay.
Fucking, she's using her own roll. Yep. So the both of you spend a lot of time going around the outside, feeling along the walls, checking for hidden compartments or anything. And as you move around, you see more of these like divots in the wall that are similar to where you pulled this metal box out of. And it seems that the wall itself, a lot of the areas like around the outsides were used as like sort of a storage, though that was the only one still there. All the rest of them are empty. Aside from a few cobwebs and a lot of dust, and these like puddles of this like white, like glowing white liquid on the floor. There doesn't seem to be anything else in the room of interest.
Starting to wish I brought vials.
Even the tools on the table are like shattered glass or like broken tools and rusted to beyond even repair.
Can I make like an Arcana check or something to see like what spells require the use of the moon?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Just for my own curiosity. I don't like that. I don't have Tides of Chaos.
Go for it.
Sure.
Well, I'm not like fully there. Moonbeam would work
Yeah.
better. This might enhance Moonbeam. Other spells that focus on the night. Who knows?
Also, some spells that seem to reveal shape changes and whatnot and force them back into their original form. Usually, they call upon aspects of the moon itself.
Oh dear.
I know
Nothing that
nothing of
usually-
such things.
Nothing that really reveals like illusory things or anything like that, right?
Not
It
really.
kind of follows into a similar domain, but not really. It's like
Not
like Moonbeam is very good against creatures that can change form, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically things that either require the moon or stuff that like has an aspect of the moon can have some kind of advantage by adding this to the spell when casting it.
So, and you said there were some vials of them.
There is one vial.
One
One
jar.
vial. Well,
Yeah, it's a jar, not a vial.
at least we didn't leave this place empty-handed.
There's surely maybe something else here.
We've looked everywhere. We've looked
But it doesn't make
everywhere. that I can possibly think of.
Did you
Maybe-
explain what the Baroness said, by the way, from my own knowledge? No, or did you just show the note mainly?
I just showed the note, but
Cool.
yeah.
Okay, that's my thing.
The Baroness, honestly, she didn't know anything about this child. She just said there's a room under Duskview. And I just remember Tomb of Priestess was just a single room. So last time we made the room into a shrine. I just kind of assumed.
The sort of glow from the jar and like sort of the pools on the floor, does that have like any sort of similarities to like the glow that I've seen with Selena's eyes or anything like that?
No, it's like the jar is just like it's that same liquid that seems to be dropping from the ceiling into the floor, but it's like a more condensed and pure version. While the ones on the ground are kind of like a little glittery as they like shift around and the light kind of fades in places. This is just like a jar of glowing white liquid.
White, okay, yeah. She like sort of like see Christine just sort of move around from like point to point, just trying to see if she could put like any two things together, looking towards like the pools, looking towards the walls, then sort of looks back at you, looks back to the pools, looks to the walls.
Just a quick note, roughly how long have we been here for, would you say?
With the investigation, I'd say 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay, that's fine.
Investigations take a while.
Yeah. I just want to, like, I'm keeping tabs on, like, how long we've been here, because I don't want to be caught here at daybreak.
Damn it.
Yeah, it hasn't been like hours yet.
Yeah.
Damn it. Is there any point in, like, I want to try to see if there's, like, points that look like maybe stone has been moved or something like that? Just if anything of those, like, particular things piques interest.
You can make your own roll if you want.
That's all I can kind of think of right now.
The only thing I can think of as well is, like, checking the floor, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just looking around for, like...
That's what I was saying, like, on the floor, like a stone.
Oh, is that where you're looking?
Yeah. It is a stone
Right.
floor, right? Am I right with that?
Yeah, the floor is stone, but the roof
Yeah.
is just like compacted dirt,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
walls are like a mix of the two. But no, you find nothing new that Chef didn't already see, or that
Okay, yeah, it's just like sort of like after like like sort of 10 minutes, it's just like a bit of like a frustrated like sort of look on it. I'm running low on ideas here because I don't have the spells for it. With that investigator roll, like, I don't know, I'll probably make a different one. Like, no, it's still be the same thing anyway, because it's just the whole thing. I was just like wondering if like there's any like sort of like cracks in walls that maybe have like just pure darkness behind what we can't see, or like more wall or whatever. But yeah.
I have one last trick.
Mm-hmm.
And if this doesn't work, it doesn't cause anything to happen, then I'm just gonna say that maybe I was wrong. And I'm going to cast my wings.
You focus, and your wings sprout out of your back as the radiant energy seems to flow off you. And you look around in the room.
I'm assuming it's like fairly lit up by this point.
Very with the wings. It's not a small room, but it's like with 2 light spells and your glowing wings, it's pretty lit up.
Help the spell.
So yeah, it's unfortunate, but nothing changes. Nothing reacts to you at all in the room.
I still feel like we did get something from this. We found a chest that opened up with my blood. So it's
So
gotta mean
you're
something.
satisfied?
Once my wings have disappeared, yeah,
And how
Can't really
long
be caught
is that
seeing
gonna
this.
be?
it's not very long, don't worry.
Good. I'd like to get some rest tonight, so we can be on our way.
Should be about another 30 seconds.
That's it. Roughly 30 seconds later, the wings disappear in a glittery
Wish I
light.
could last them longer. Alright, well, disappointing, but not completely disappointing. This chest is, with its contents, is rather interesting. We didn't get completely empty-handed. I appreciate all your efforts.
I'll be sure to pass on your thanks to the person responsible.
I think my gaze right now is like mainly on like sort of the pools from above, like dripping to the floor.
Also, I most definitely don't need most of these weapons, so... It was a sword, was one of them, wasn't it?
There's a long sword,
a
a dagger,
five
and 5 arrows.
Who's
I think they should
comfortable
already
with
be in
what?
the inventory.
Yeah, if you look in your inventory, AJ dropped it in there already.
Okay.
Do you think the little pools of concentrated liquid are suitable for mixing with stuff?
Christine's like over one of those pools just looking at it.
Try tasting it.
I don't know if that's such a good idea. We do have a jar of the same mixture by the looks of it.
I want to touch the pool.
You touch the pool. You have white, glowing, sticky stuff all over your fingers.
Just curious if it did anything.
It's like sap when you like run your finger through it. But yeah, it just
Yeah.
glows and it's white.
I feel like this jar will probably be the most useful thing. Anyway, I'm
probably
ready.
just gonna start like hovering, just like I'm gonna put like my hand in it and just start hovering and see if it like glows onto anything onto like floor, table floor, just see.
You've started doing this as I'm like preparing
Yeah.
to
You
leave.
fingerpaint the room.
No, just put it like not touch anything. So just put it like see if there's like the glow reacts to anything, but obviously it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but she's just like could be potential. And
Let's
this
get
is-
going.
She just sort of snaps back a bit. It's like, yeah, okay.
This wasn't a
Cyrus,
complete loss.
it's been about 2 or 3 hours. It's been about 2.5 hours since your friends said they were gonna go off. What are you doing?
I'm just sitting, waiting. I'm no stranger to the passage of time.
Do you have the cart ready to go, or
Yeah, just sitting in the cart, the horses, keeping them occupied, giving them a little bit of feed here and there.
okay? Eventually, about half an hour or so later, your friends arrive.
I assume they're not in any sort of rush.
That's no
It's up to
problem.
them.
Are you running or
We just
walking?
sort of like, no, just like walk up normally.
Once we arrive, I will look to Christine and Selena quickly. For everyone's sanity, now that this is over with, and I just do a quick look around, make sure we're not being listened to.
Mhm.
Perception, I guess. I can't tell.
There's a couple people out, but they're not.
None that look like guards, I assume.
Yeah.
Later on, make sure to hand back those notes so I can dispose of them.
Of course.
We can
do
keep the
that
original.
once we get back to the inn, I guess.
Well,
Better
if you
go
keep
check
the
up
original,
on
if you can tell
Cyrus.
the difference.
Oh, they have no need for it now. It was only of use tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we better check up on Osiris. He's probably
You're there.
bored out of his mind.
You're there.
Yeah, at this point, you guys have arrived, and you see him on the cart waiting for you all.
Wasn't quite as exciting as the last trial, let's just say. Whether or not it was
successful.
trialable. I'm not sure. It wasn't really a shrine. We found a box, a locked box that did open with my blood. I'm keeping this kind of like lowish as well, so like no, people aren't gonna like massively
Yeah.
overhear as they walk past. By the way,
Sage whispering.
yeah, not so much whispering, like just like quiet, sort of quiet under my breath, sort of talking.
Yeah.
And it did open with my blood and had some items, and a research note. Had a symbol of the Council of Priestess, which was, if you remember, was similar to that of the tomb that we went to last time. So, maybe not a trial, but it did have something to do with it.
suppose we could call that a win anyway.
Yeah, we got some shiny swords. I'll show you when we get back to the inn.
I sort of hold the bag of holding out. Guess want to put them in there or whatever.
Yeah, sure. She just carefully puts them into the bag of holding.
Yeah, you dump the blades in there.
I don't dump them. I carefully place them.
You dump them.
I don't
Carefully
dump them.
place them into the
Bag of
void.
holding. You reach in, you let go, you pull your hand out. There's no longer anything in your hand.
Yeah.
Magic bag.
Magic.
Yeah, what are you guys doing for the rest of the night? You're on a wagon in the middle of the street. It's about 9 p.m. at this point.
Oh, I'm
Maybe
personally
put my
going to
wagon
retire.
So you start to take the wagon back, and the stable's closed.
Yep.
Oh.
That makes sense. Alright. Well, you guys head to bed. I'll take this just sort of somewhere I won't get fined or whatever. And I'll just sleep in the car.
Would you like some company?
It is entirely up to you. I will have a much better sleep than you might on a wooden floor. Because I literally sleep inside of myself.
It's fine by me. I'll join for the night.
That's probably one of the weirdest sentences I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yet not inaccurate.
No, it's
the
not.
point.
That's the problem.
As you all fraction off, you all get to bed. You all take another long rest.
Awesome.
In the morning, Pot comes down with some food. He has got some bundled for the group that was not in the thing with you anymore. And
I'll say to everyone as well, one thing. Your night is spent with strange dreams. Nothing as vivid as the ones from the previous night, but it's still uncommon sights, places you've never seen before.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's weird dreams still follow. And then yeah, dawn, breakfast, etc.
and you're back
Well,
on the
yeah.
cart.
I like the idea that in my mind it's like, why does this keep happening to me? It's different dreams, different times of day. This fucking sucks.
Magic be strange, yo.
As you,
Blood be strange.
I'm gonna take a little leeway with this, but as you all walk up to the cart, you see that Cyrus has laid out a map on the ground, looking to where you can go next. You know that Andavine is 6 days away. The capital, Tel Narus, is 5.
Well,
The fiefdom, if you wanted to go there, is also about 5.
I honestly have no interest in the fiefdom, but we were to go to the capital for our payment from Mardo. Is that right?
I don't actually remember that. I genuinely don't remember that.
I mean, could we make a swinging path?
Swinging path to the capital.
You know, pass through one place, go to another, might cover more fair bit of ground for you, for all of you.
I'm not phased either way. I would like to go to Andavine as well. Well, of course, we want to go to Andavine to meet up with our friend, but it seems like we should go to the capital first if it's closer. What does everyone else think?
I think this discussion with Zerosh is important, although there is no guarantee he is even going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, he is kind of ditched us the last couple of times.
Zerush is the one that hired you all originally, yes?
Yes.
Correct.
Maybe I'll get to meet him, who knows?
If you're lucky.
The best way I can sum him up in a very short amount of words is ADHD.
He's
What
got a
is
mind
that?
for... Let's just say he has a lot of things to think about, and we're low on the list.
Well, I will be in the cart waiting for you all to make a decision. I personally think passing by Telmarus wouldn't be a bad option, and then going wherever after that. But you make the choice. I'm simply here to assist.
What do you think, everyone?
I mean, like, if we get to Endervine, we could ask more about this what we found potentially, but I don't really know what else to do other than that.
I personally would like my cloak.
I don't remember where the thing was for Mardo. Well, I mean, I don't think I remember, so I don't think that is anymore for me.
Cyrus?
I reckon we go see if we can find the scaly bastard.
Do you prefer to just go to Endervine?
I do.
Well, we can always pass through Telmarus another time. It's not too far from Endervine. I'm perfectly fine with that as well.
You all know it's about 4 days away.
Yeah.
It's not a week, so you know, it's not that far.
And yeah, I guess Jakova is probably waiting for us as well.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have someone who packs a bit of a punch, I guess. Let's hope he just doesn't run away again.
But then what
Alright.
to tell?
Endervine it is, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
So you'll set out right away.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right. You begin your journey down the road to Andvine.
How many days you say?
It'll be a
5?
6-day trip.
6, okay, cool.
As you begin the journey, you notice also immediately, like when you were coming from the edge of the Aberystwyth Empire to here, the roads were getting better, they were getting more patrolled. As you're on the road towards Endervine, they're even more heavily patrolled. Almost every half an hour, you see a cluster of 2 or 3 people on horseback wearing like armor with a symbol of the Amerysthian Empire on it. You saw that symbol before, up in Gipchu. But yeah, you continue, you start on your way. The first few days pass pretty uneventfully. It's just the same flatlands, farms all around, villages, etc. The only thing that breaks the monotony after about almost 4 days is you're just plodding along like normal, and then about 200 or 300 feet away, you start to hear like a cry.
It's like an animal cry, or
Like a person like shouting.
We can't like make details, can we?
I'm gonna try and roll perception to see if I can see where, like, which direction.
It's not hard. You look around trying to spot where they're coming from, where the shout's coming from, and you quickly notice a man running towards the road, waving his arms over his head, like shouting as he's running toward, basically trying to like run towards you all.
Is there anything behind him that I can see?
No.
Chasing? Okay.
Do you all stop or do you just keep going?
That seems a little suspect. That person
Perhaps
could be
be
in
on
danger.
guard.
Shall we stop? Slow down at least.
Yeah, I'll stop the car.
He comes running up, and he's like rather out of breath as he reaches you. He's like, "Wait, hey, wait!" As he's running, and when he finally like, hops a fence on the side of the road and runs towards you all, and stumbles to a stop next to the road, and he's like, "Any of y'all handy with the sword?"
I
Possibly.
mean, I know my way around one, but that it's not my particular area of proficiency.
There's some weird beasties. They're eating my cows. Can I help? As like he like looks at all of you.
What do they look like?
Big. They got teeth. They're brown. got hard skin. Oh god, and he like turns, like looks back towards the field.
Do any of that ring a bell? Like,
Not really. It's not
No.
exactly a very not a very detailed description.
okay, cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I were to, no, not to him, to
Okay. Yeah.
gods. If I were to use detect thoughts in order to get sort of an understanding or image of what he's trying to describe, am I aware whether that would work or not?
Oh.
Discussion is being had.
You can absolutely try.
Yeah, I'll try it. Get it for
Alright.
use every day.
Just go on for the surface thoughts.
Yeah, just the surface thought, seeing as it's the most prevalent thing on his mind.
Alright, and as soon as you touch the surface thoughts, it's just like panic and like desperation and pleading. Like he's like, the surface thoughts are really, oh my god, help.
Please.
So no understanding of what it.
And then
Oh my
as you
goodness.
as you like peer into it, you get this image as you while you ask him the question, he thinks about it, and the rough image of something like that.
Hello, handsome.
Creepy. Oh my
And
God.
how many of these things are there?
I saw 3, I think, maybe 4.
Can I get a gauge of how like tall they are?
I believe they're large, AJ.
I will have a look.
DMG. No, Monster Manual, tell me what.
My monster manual is Google because I'm lazy.
Yes,
Yeah, they're large. So about the size of a horse.
And I don't know what this kind of creature is.
Nope.
Fucking. This is probably not clean up shit.
Okay. I'd give a more detailed description of this thing to the rest of the party.
We have to
Are you
help this
coming?
man.
He's like kind of stepping back towards the fence. Like, are you just waiting here? You're coming on. Come on. You're gonna eat them all.
They sound like bugs.
We have to help him.
I don't know if the cart would, this kind of terrain off the road would seem like it's cart terrain.
The only problem you have is there is fences on both sides of the road because there's farms on both sides. You could attempt to, like, you do see, like, a couple 100 feet down, there is, like, the equivalent of, like, a driveway where probably this farmer, like, probably his house, where he'd pull his own cart in when he's taking stuff to one of those towns to sell. You could pull down there. That would, it'd be a few 100 feet down the road.
I'd tell the individual. Alright, we'll go have a look, try and sort this out. You watch my cart. Because I don't trust fucking anyone. I've been through some shit. I'm sick of having my shit fucked with. You look after that, we'll go look after this problem.
You can very clearly tell, like, especially with detect thoughts, he's very, like, torn, where he's like, okay, but they're my cows, like, I want to protect them, like, this thing's killing my herd, and he's like, okay, but those things will eat me, so...
And
He's
also,
like,
if he wanted to protect him, he could do it his fucking self.
Exactly, and he's, like, torn, and he stops and goes, okay, I'll bring the cart down there, and he points towards the house, basically he'll bring it there for you guys. And then he gives you basic directions of, like, just go here, go this way about this long, it's just, like, down a little crest, there's a river, it's right there, right, that's where they were.
Cool, and I'll start making my way in that direction.
Remember, you guys moving,
agree to
what
follow.
speed are you moving at?
I'd like to say we're sort of moving fairly
Yeah, I'll do it
quickly.
with a dash.
We want to
So
try
moving speed
and
fast.
save these cows.
Right, so you run.
I know I don't have her character selected, but could I have Annex
We said that
fly
before,
there?
you look,
No.
Do you want her to fly there?
Yeah.
The answer's no.
Okay.
As us controlling our next move at this point, I'll say not at the
Yeah,
moment.
she's not going to do that out in
Not in
the
public.
open.
It's a bad idea. So yeah, you all start running there at a quick pace, and you make your way. You follow the run. Like, you can basically see very obvious signs that this man has come. Where you find like some tools knocked over, or you see like scrapes in the mud where he'd probably fallen over as he was running. You hop a few fences, and eventually you come to this like slight dip in the ground where it starts to lean down, and you see this river. And looking around, you immediately, like, initially you can't see anything. Everyone make a perception check.
Just can I forgo my perception check? I want to cast this spell. I'd like to cast a second level Wooden Bond.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll use my inspiration to re-roll that.
Yep, go for it.
So then if you're doing mage armor, you're also giving up your perception.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
Okay, so Ardi, well, you both roll 19s. You basically jump over, you get down the sledge, and you slide down this like steep kind of embankment towards the shallow river. And along the bank, you initially can't spot anything, but as you're looking around, you spot something that catches your eye around the slight bend, and quickly moving up to it, you see the top half of a cow.
Oh.
Oh.
Just like, yeah.
So like no legs, like top half, not front half.
It's like front half, sorry, I should say.
Okay.
It's like the back
So
half
that's
basically
two
from
very different images.
That is very different.
the back half basically from from like the shoulders just behind the front legs is just missing.
I'm just imagining that image of how did you divide the cow down the middle, across the middle, like across the horizontal.
How would cow have hands?
That's illegal.
Yeah, you see this just the shoulders and head of a cow basically. Looking around the area, you notice there's very deep like furrow marks in the ground where it's been torn up, and you notice what looks like fresh like blood mixed with dirt and mud that leads from the top of the embankment near you that leads down into it, where these creatures probably got the cows and dragged them down here. You only see the one body. What do you all do?
And no sign of these creatures.
Not at the moment.
So they're probably down the embankment.
Well, you're at the bottom basically of the embankment.
Well, the cows are already dead. We can just leave.
These things. I mean, there was only one dead cow, and there were a lot more cows. And where have these things gone? Because I'm sure they're going to kill more than just cows.
They must have borrowed towards something else. Can I like feel anything like sort of rumbling within the dirt, or
Not really. It's kind of hard to feel through shoes.
I was gonna say, do you have tremor sense?
I was gonna.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a whole
but,
thing.
you know. Is that an actual thing? Yeah, it is, isn't it? I didn't know that was a thing. It's been a while. I was thinking of putting my hand down, but yeah, if I can't, I can't. I mean, what do we do then? Like, if we can't see it?
Feel free.
Does it seem like there's a bloody trail leaving the corpse?
Feel free to position yourselves anywhere in that box.
Yeah, there's a pretty like bloody. It's saying there's a bloody trail. It ends at this creature, at the corpse, and there's a few more of them, and they just end like in the middle of the dirt.
Well, if you guys want to hide or something, I can attempt to bait them out.
I can try. I'm not so good at that whole sneaking thing.
You said you're not good.
Yeah, I'm really bad at it. I get like a 0.
Hey, Sam. Well, do you want to be the bait then?
You know, I was suggesting we just leave, yeah?
Yeah, but like we're already here.
Do I have a choice?
Yes, you're more than welcome to leave.
I don't know, I mean on the bait
I will
thing.
think less of you for it.
Very well. What do you want me to do? Actually, let me... I would use up one of my morsels, but
Since you're all
match.
seeming to do combat-y things, so everyone roll initiative.
yeah.
Let me get Dimitri's sheet for get an access sheet for Dim.
Why do I always roll really bad on initiative?
That's not true.
Look,
Cyrus got a 3.
I could offer to wave around some cow innards if that would make them come out, I guess.
Ew.
It's nasty.
Well, are you gonna do that?
I'm waiting for a response if that's what he wants me to do to be bait. So
You do you. You're not a mindless zombie. You've got your own thoughts and ideas and can do whatever. If we can bait them out, we can deal with the problem. Was what I was getting
I'm
at.
the
I
zombie
was just
here.
going to be loud and obnoxious.
okay, you know what? I'll use up one of my morsels here, as I pull it out. Utilizing a combination of that with the smelling salts, am I able to get a strong scent going in the air?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you want me to roll anything for that as my entire turn, basically?
No, you can just.
So you
do
spend
that.
your turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll utilize my turn and a more salts to do that for, just the smelling salts will add to the strength, I guess, potency.
It's stinky now. The air is stinky.
For Annex's turn, the things that she went through are fly. Unless we tell you to. What's Annex doing?
Dimmy.
Jimmy's not there. Please respond.
Dimmy's muted.
Okay, yeah, okay, I had muted myself again. Yeah, I'm just familiarizing with character sheet. Don't worry. Sorry. She's gonna flip up off the ground.
No, it's the one thing she's not allowed to do.
She's not allowed to fly.
I just
One
said
thing
that.
with yeah.
I just said that.
Okay.
Not out in the open, because that would like literally
That's-
give away.
That's her story.
Everything.
We're not doing that.
Okay, yeah.
Till we give you the okay, just assume she's a flightless bird.
Okay.
Those are the best.
Can
kind
I
of
send
actually.
little Valorian down the goddamn... Can I send little Valorian out to scout?
Yeah, totally.
Sweet. I'm gonna use Find Familiar. And just perceive through senses.
Alright, so you basically, your actions is switch your senses to his, you get him, on your turn he acts as well anyway.
Yeah.
And he takes off into the air, turning invisible as he does. He's almost always invisible anyway.
Yeah.
And he starts to look around. Roll a perception check with his stats, but I don't know if we have his stats up.
I'll go do that.
He is an imp.
Impay.
Did I make his own sheet? That's the question.
That would be
Just roll a perception check with Annex for now to save time.
No, I've got the sheet, don't worry.
Okay, what do you get?
22.
So what you see immediately when he takes up into the air, he does a quick 360 survey. You see these trails of blood that lead up the embankment. They continue into basically towards where the farm is itself. You see a smashed fence where probably these creatures came up and tore the fence down, and then you see an empty field where there probably were cows there before, but in the distance you can see some. So it's not the whole herd was taken, but some were, and the rest ran as far as fuck away from this area as they could.
As they should.
Okay. That seems nice. Annex is gonna relay this.
Yeah.
And then probably tell Imp with true name I do not know to continue to scout the area.
Yeah,
Good answer.
continues. So next up would be Christine. Go for it, Christine. What are you doing?
So I guess I was looking around just sort of from what I've noticed, they've been nowhere near. I am probably mostly going to hold my action. Basically, I'm waiting until other people are moving, and I'm gonna move with them.
Okay.
All right, and that's all you're doing.
Yeah, just on the reaction area.
Right, Selena.
Yeah, I want to hold my action as well. I haven't really looked much into these conditions that we have, like the dodge and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way I can hold to dodge if these things do burrow up?
Well, if you dodge as your action
choosing
anyway,
your action to dodge. You can't.
yeah,
Right, okay,
it lasts until
You
the start of
can't
your next
hold your-
round.
You
Yeah.
can't hold your action to dodge.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna hold my action for now and just keep a really close eye on what's going on.
And Osiris.
Cyrus.
I will. This is so stupid.
Go for it.
Could be.
I'm going to hide in my shell and make myself seem like a rock.
That was not what I was expecting.
Play your shell defense then.
Right, you suck yourself into your shell. I believe that's your action.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you can't move. Do you have a bonus action?
The only thing I can do from inside my shell is a bonus action to leave.
Well, do you want to leave your shell? Top of the turn order. RD, you're back up again.
Well, seeing as the smell isn't attracting them by the looks of it, I'm gonna... Based on the script... Nah, you know, we won't do that. Just trying to think what this does. I'm gonna just, I think, just hold my action, honestly. So...
Alright, you're holding, so next up, Annex. Gonna keep scabbing with the imp, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
How far is Lil Val going per turn? Is he dashing or is he just 40 feet? The 40 feet he can fly.
40 feet he can fly.
Okay, so
He's staying
80.
within the range.
So he's 80 feet away from you.
He's looking around. At the moment, nothing has changed.
It is a hole.
There is a hole.
You thought you sent him to go down the hole.
No, he sent him into the air.
Ah, it's there. Yeah, there's nothing in there.
There's like, yeah, the ground is like torn up and everything, and like around near where the dead cow is. But other than that, yeah.
I have a question, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do it.
What's the question?
With Find Familiar, it says I'm allowed to cast a spell with a range of touch through my familiar. Can that count as self?
No, it's range of touch.
Cannot give it. Cannot do what are you trying to do?
I was trying to make it Burning Hands
No.
as a reaction. Because it
I mean,
would
that
use
is
its
fair.
reaction to make their attack roll.
No, because Burning Hands is a cone attack. It's basically the thing you can technically cast things like heal or like cure wounds or inflict wounds through it.
Yeah.
If you want. So just get, so you're continuing to scout, Annex?
Yeah, Annex is going to continue to scout, because it does take an action to do that.
Make the roll into the tower. Make the roll for his eyes.
Yeah. Perception. Nice. Plus 0.
God damn.
You don't have to roll into the tower. That was me saying it wrong. But what did they get, AJ?
8.
8. Yeah, he doesn't spot anything new. So next up would be Christine.
This is annoying. If there were other animals nearby, should we probably try to head towards them? Maybe they're heading in that direction. Looking at the shell and the Selena and like everyone else. Okay,
Oh,
and
that
then
came through.
yeah, I heard. Okay, and then I'm gonna slowly, probably just at half speed, make my way down, trying to be cautious of what's around me. And
So you're making your way like up the embankment towards the top.
yeah, I'm gonna use my action to dodge while moving slowly.
It's a bit of a scramble because it's muddy, but yeah, you can make your way up the embankment. Next up is Selena.
With that, yeah, I'm going to sort of move up a little bit as well, just slowly, and much the same thing as what Christine's doing. I'll probably try not to keep like right on top of her, but maybe like sort of 5 feet away.
All right, you move as well. Are you going to be using your action dodge, or are you going to hold your action for something else?
I'm gonna use action dodge.
All right, cool. Next up is back to who is it next? Osiris.
Is me.
Yeah, you're in your shell.
This section, leave my shell. And I will not cautiously, I'll just go up. Like I'll use my full movement to get the up direction behind the others.
Not all of us have the benefit of a shell.
So Annex, Dimitri, and Annex, you can see the others are all moving away from you. Except for Chef, whose turn it is.
I guess let's get going. Out of the circle. Yeah.
Yep, so you also move up the embankment to the rest of them?
I choose to defy the circle, yes.
Wait, is that an actual map?
1, 2,
No, this is just temporary throw up thing.
6.
Okay.
AJ just turned it into a grid for you guys to place yourself in roughly where you're at.
There is no hesitation going up. It's just the somewhat, the hard jogging up a hill, I guess.
Takes a few like running steps to get up there, but you do pull yourself to the top. Yeah.
And I guess I will proceed to hold my action attack.
Alright.
Last up is Alex. You bring your eyes back so you can climb up the ledge.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Well, wow,
Climb
which
up.
she doesn't know that everyone else is going. Oh, the MBA.
I'll say the imp's looking, so yeah, I should be able to see them all moving.
Yeah, I'll go.
She can hear me.
Climb up. She's gonna take the dodge action.
Alright, so you move up to the embankment like everyone else. At this point, I like everyone to make nature checks.
Why did the dodge expire before my turn? That's bizarre.
Who knows?
What would expire?
Natural 20 from
Oh
our
my
science.
god.
The dodge expired on.
Because the last one round.
I
Alright.
didn't get to the top of my turn. Oh,
Doesn't
the
matter.
top of the round. Okay, that's weird.
So you all climb up the embankment, and you're looking around, and you're thinking, where the hell are these creatures? RG, you know a lot about animals because if you're used to preparing them. You know sometimes where to find them if you want to get particular meals, and you know a lot about hunters and carnivores. And when you're thinking, if these things have already gotten the food, who knows where? Like if they go after more, maybe, or if they're just gone. And Osiris, you're able to. It clicks you at this moment that like, what's left over there is the leftovers. Whatever they got, they've taken and left, and these things aren't here anymore. And given the way the dirt is torn up, you can tell these things can burrow. So whatever they had, they dragged underground.
I assume they've gone and left.
That would probably make sense, yes.
At least it doesn't put the farmer at risk, but this could be a massive loss.
What's stopping it from coming back, though?
Oh, absolutely nothing. Except lack of food.
Are you saying we should create a lack of food?
Unless you intend on getting rid of the farmer and whatever he might have as a family, because I
I'm
assume
kidding.
they're also edible in these things' eyes. I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be quite hard for a farmer to pack up and leave his home.
Well, let's maybe
Short
just head
notice.
back to the cart then.
Yeah.
If there's nothing we can do, then there's nothing we can do. And
Well, I'll start heading towards where the cart was parked.
I think his house is where it took him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys make your way there. I'm assuming not running this time, just like making your way back at a normal pace. And
Yeah.
as you're all heading off as you all arrive towards the farmstead, you see the farmer there with your wagon. He looks very concerned. When you approach, he's like, oh, thank God. I don't know I was hoping nothing bad happened, y'all. What's happened out there?
It's an absolute massacre, I'm afraid. By the time we got there, unfortunately, we couldn't see any of your cows left alive. The ones that remain are... Sorry, but they've passed. Looks like they may have dragged off the other ones.
All of them?
There were a few cows in the distance, weren't there? From my
Alex,
memory,
Alex saw the imp. Yeah, there were still cows there, just they were on the other side of the paddock to everything else.
Okay, outside of the paddock. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like basically as far away from the dead cow that they possibly could be.
How far is it to get to the farmer's house from the paddock?
A few minutes walk.
As in distance, like.
I don't care.
Okay.
A few
'Cause-
minutes. Of
It is an abstract. It's an abstract amount of time.
A few
at
minutes,
distance.
30 foot each, like 6 seconds. Go nuts.
Everything
Okay.
that was in the area, I'm afraid. There were cows still living in the other paddock. But
Well, you didn't see him? You didn't.
They were gone. We have no idea where they went. It looks like perhaps they could burrow.
It's likely they got their meal and left is the easiest way to put it to you.
He like paces off to one side, like taking his hat off and like rubbing this like his face, and he's like, "So what do I do?"
Have you seen these things before?
No.
Have you ever had any attacks on missing cows on your farm?
Not in years. The only cows have gone missing before is a fence breaks down, some get loose.
These things could come back, which is
Oh,
a concern.
God.
And I'm worried
Does
for you
someone
and your
want
family.
your land?
I don't know.
With the creature you described, I mean, that wouldn't really add up, would it?
I don't know what that damn thing is. Looks like the kind of weirdie you'd see, like, I know, in books or something. I've never seen something like that before.
Worst case scenario, well, all of the scenarios, unfortunately, these things are clearly pack hunters, if you said there were multiples of them. And maybe they have been sent out for some other nefarious reason, or maybe they've just come into this land and your cows were dinner, which means they will come back, which means that you could all be at risk.
He's just like looking at you all, are kind of like lost. Like, I don't know. I'm a fucking farmer. What the fuck am I do? What do I do? You're the road types.
You're them adventuring folk.
Exactly. He's like, I don't know what the hell to do. I tend cow. That is my daily task.
Tend cow.
Do you have family nearby? Maybe?
Yeah, I got my wife's inside. I got some sons out in a different paddock tending 200 head of cattle.
Do you have family in another place that you could go to, temporarily at least?
I got a brother down past on the other side of Andavine, but what am I going
Go
to
get your sons.
This place could be dangerous. I really wouldn't want for any of you to be hurt.
Now.
Shit, and he like turns, like runs off towards the house. Yeah, he just bolts inside. You hear the door like slam behind him.
So, do we wait? Is our job done?
I'm gonna move up. Like, do a little bit of a
I don't know
job.
if there's anything else we can do at the moment, unless we stay here and scout it out for a while.
Perhaps we should suggest that he maybe finds a way to cut a deal and hire some slightly more permanent help.
Christine, because you move up, you hear like sounds from inside the house. Do you move up to like a window or to the door or anything?
Yeah, I'll probably move up to like a window or something.
Yeah, you look inside and you see like he runs in, like runs to a room. You see a woman, kind of in like what looks like a dining or kitchen area, like holding like a baby, and he's speaking quickly to her, and she like goes a bit white, and she starts like grabbing a few things and packing stuff, and you hear the door like bang open, which is probably the back of the house, and you hear like a bell ringing.
I wanna not go through the house, but move around the house just so I can keep an eye on the back as well, just in case like things happen. And like sort of as I move like further and further away, like a little like faint like white tether between me and Slinny sort of stretches and stretches until it just sort of dissipates after I move like 60 feet.
And as you move around the side, because you see the back of the place, you see the same farmer. He's like basically on the back porch. There's like a bell hung up, and he's grabbing it, just like basically ringing the shit out of the bell. So it's like ringing really loudly. What's everyone else doing while this happens?
Keep an eye out as soon as that bell starts ringing to see if that might entice them back. Like, just be on guard.
I want to keep an eye out for the children that are in the other paddocks, if I can see them like heading back or not. He said he had 4 children, right?
He said he has some.
Yeah.
He didn't give you a number.
Could I use a bonus action to Font of Magic regain a 2nd level spell slot while this is happening?
Sure.
As about maybe 20 minutes pass, and you will see
Maybe about 3 people. Like they're not children. They're
ranging
like
from like 16 at the youngest to like 23 at the oldest.
yeah, all coming on a horseback, like just riding bareback as they ride towards their homestead.
As they do that, they sort of like the one that's older seems to like shrug his shoulders, like what's going on? Why'd you need me back?
And yeah, the farmer just starts going straight into it, being like, "We gotta pack our things. We gotta get out of here." And he starts like telling the kids what happened.
We need to. I don't want to just leave. If we can stay here and try and find these creatures or even hunt them down, I'm sure that he doesn't have very much money, but I don't really want to. We can't just. This is his livelihood. This could ruin them.
Selena, you've got a good heart. Sometimes bad shit happens.
Yes.
There's nothing you can do about it.
And
We
there are
could
people
help,
who can.
we could do all this, but we do have our own things that we need to do.
You could take such a little time. And
We could simply just give some word to the guards once we reach the major city. They might be able to handle this better.
you've got a point. If they
It is
don't,
what
I
they
would
are
like
there
to
for.
come back here, though.
And perhaps reaching Andavine, was it? Once we reach there, maybe if you really, really feel it's necessary to look into this, you can ask around, I don't know, some of the local taverns. Maybe they've heard of them. Maybe an adventuring group's come across them.
Okay.
Would that set your mind at a bit more ease?
Mostly. And I want to just approach the farmer. I
Who's-
assume he's packing his stuff and really ready to go.
Yeah, he's out the back with the son, still basically talking to them. The oldest is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Basically, and the youngest just look a bit confused. Who's still around the front of the place though?
I'm at the back with the farmer.
Yeah,
I haven't left front.
So yeah, so it's RD, Cyrus, where are you?
I said I'm still at the front.
All right, and Annex is probably with you all.
Roll perception.
About three of your perception, two of your perception.
Okay.
Nice rolls.
As you're
Good,
as you're gazing out, looking around, you notice that, similar to what you've seen all day, 3 horsemen walking past the farm.
3 horsemen?
Yep.
They don't look like the farmer's kids, I would assume.
No.
Nope. You see three men on horseback, riding past, wearing a variety of armor with the symbol of Amarisian Empire on their chests.
Do you think they've heard of anything, Cyrus?
I don't know. I'll go find out. How far away are they?
So down on the road, main road.
Yeah, the road that you guys were coming down on. They're basically heading this way from Andavine.
So they're coming towards us.
It's on this road, this major road, you see a few of these guards every half an hour to an hour, just patrolling these roads. It's been about 20 minutes since you guys got here, so yeah.
I'll make my way towards the road in order to flag them down.
Yeah, as you move up towards the edge of the road, the 3 of them trotting along, and you flag them down. The one that's in the lead reaches up and takes off a little helmet he has. It's one of the pothead helmets, and he looks down and goes, "Is anything to miss? We heard the bell."
Yeah, this farm is infestated? No, that's not the word.
Infested.
That still doesn't sound right to me.
It's correct, Grandma, don't worry. They have an
This place is
infestation.
overrun
That works.
by these huge insectoid creatures, and they have currently slaughtered probably maybe a quarter, maybe half of this.
It was definitely not a quarter or a half. There's a lot of fucking cows here.
There's a lot of fucking cows. All right. It's started to make its way through his cow population here, and is only going to grow worse.
The guard looks at the other 2 who's with him, leaning back to look at the ones who are behind him, and he goes, "Is old Will still here? I don't know."
I've currently
I recognize
suggested
you.
he gather all of his family together,
Would you be able to get him out here?
Sure. Wouldn't it be easy for you guys to come over?
Well,
You guys
we're
are on
coming.
horses after all.
We're coming. It's okay. And yeah, they just like said to follow you.
They seem like
Yeah.
very nonplussed about this, like strangely so.
They seem okay. Make an insight.
They're on it.
You can basically tell these are people who are meant to be a bit skeptical about weird things, and this guy's like, I don't know you. You're clearly not from around here. I know the guy. Like, I know the dude who runs this farm. I don't see him around here. Making sure you aren't like telling him some bullshit story because you've done something.
Alright, that is fair.
So yeah, he
Yeah,
follows
he's
you.
over- he's over
They
in
follow
this
you,
direction.
they keep a bit of a distance from you, but they follow you through. And then yeah, after not even a minute, you get Old Will, as you now know, as you bring him out, and immediately like the guards' like tension seems like loosen from them, and the one that's in the lead like hops off the horse, and they start quickly talking to each other. What are the rest of you doing?
Well,
I wish
I,
to be
orig-
privy to the conversation that's happening.
I originally went around to the back to
Yep.
talk to Will.
All right, we'll say rewind a little bit. What do you? This is before he's called out the front. This is while Osiris is heading out to talk to the guards. What do you say?
I know that the road can be tough, and I'm not sure how much resources you have. Would 10 gold suffice?
He's like talking to his sons. He stops and looks and goes, "Ma'am, I don't really. I understand the sentiment. I get it. I don't know. Sorry.
Just take it.
Oh,
Just hand in the 10 gold.
thank you." He just like pockets it in like the front of his like overalls he's wearing. And then yeah, time whoops back up to this point. So, Osiris, you're listening in on the conversation that he's having with the guard. It's the same thing. He's just telling the guard now what he says happened. The guard then asks you a few questions. I'm assuming you fill him in on the few things you saw.
Yep.
What about everyone else?
I don't know. I feel like I wait for the farmers to sort of move back through and move around, still keep my eyes sort of at the back. And I guess as they move, like probably like 20 seconds or so, I'll probably start to move back around myself, and then just meet up and wait, but still keep my sort of eyes and ears around, trying to at least.
Yeah, you're able to see like the guards out front because you move around and you see everything. After a couple minutes of you telling this, the main guard turns to the other two and he basically tells them where to go, and he goes, "You two go off and check what happened. Let me know if you see any, if they're, just let me know." And they basically gallop off past you all and start heading in the direction of where you all were. Yeah.
Just let them go.
Yeah, they just gallop off. They like literally just jump the fence and keep riding off towards where the cows were.
It now sounds like it is now not our problem.
Yeah, what do you all do? What do you want to do? Are you gonna wait around? Are you gonna leave? What are you doing?
Is the farmer like still like planning on leaving at this point, or is he stalling?
He's now stalling a bit because he's like, before he was like, I've got to run. Now he's like, oh, but there are guards here now. Maybe they can help. But he's still like, they're still packing a few things in there. He's not 100% like, we're gonna stay here and not everything's okay. He's like, I maybe have other options.
At this point, I'm like, she's just concerned that if they do leave, whatever those things are going to attack the farm instead, like straight up. And like, I don't imagine like a bunch of farmers would be able to really hold their own, especially with like, you know, like basically like a baby and and like a mother there.
Yeah, what do you all want to do? This is a decision you all have to make.
What time is it? What time of day?
Probably around midday at this point.
Yeah. Like, you would have gotten here, like, close to midday. At this point, with how much time has passed with this, it's probably reaching midday itself.
God, this is actually hard.
Yeah, it is, ain't it?
Yeah. I don't
I
think she's
imagine
good-
he has like. You go.
You first. Alright, okay. I don't think Christine's really gonna stop like sort of looking around because she wants to try and sort of spot the thing coming and see if like she can at least like notify. She doesn't want anything else bad to happen right now. But probably besides that, she doesn't really know if like if holding out magic would be seen as a bad thing, so she's gonna just wait mostly, and yeah, just keeping her eyes out.
How much land does this dude claim to have?
He says he's got.
You asking me that? He's got quite a bit of land. Like, cows take up a decent amount of land. He claims to have a few hundred head of cattle, so it's like he needs a lot. He has a lot of space.
And you know that he's got at least a couple other paddocks that are not in the direction you're in. Or the one, and even the one you went through was pretty close by, but it's still got more.
And I assume it's not all within line of sight.
No, you couldn't see where the suns came from. Like, they basically like came riding, and then after about 20 minutes, you finally caught sight of them as they came riding in. You can also tell, like, they aren't the only people here. There are farm hands and stuff, but a majority of them are still like working. Some of them have stopped to like be like, "What the fuck's going on?" But there's others who are still like, you can see some out in the distance, like moving some cows around.
Okay, I'll turn to Christine. How badly do you want to do this?
I just want to try and I don't want people getting hurt.
Selena,
Yes?
same question.
I need to protect these people. If I leave, what happens if these things come back?
Alright. Okay, so I reckon the best thing we can do, if you really are intent on doing this, is we take maybe Farmer, maybe his eldest son if he's game enough, and we try and put all these cows, and there's a crap ton, it's going to take all day, probably into the night as well, which will probably give them enough time to get their appetite back, put them into one paddock, keep an eye on all of them, wait for them to come back.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, I'm ready when you are. I have no idea how to herd cows, but I'll do my best.
Let's just hope you have an idea on how to ride a horse.
So y'all choosing to stay and help?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
With that,
Then,
you talk to Oddwill. He is thankful for the help. The guards come back, relay the report to their captain, who's pretty much just like, "Alright, well, you stay here," points to like the youngest one. "You aid these people, and we'll be back with the squadron tomorrow, hopefully."
Yeah, they take off. They get on there. He gets on the horse with the other one. They take off down the road.
The opposite way that they'll come in. And then Will offers you a spot to rest for the day. It's not in the house, you probably sleep in the barn, and that's all. So we'll end the session for the night.
Cool.
God, this is annoying.
Hmm.
Well, thanks everyone for coming. We all had a good time, hopefully. Yeah. Next, morality is hard. Next Wednesday, tomorrow I'll be playing more Yakuza 0 on my channel. Part 11. We're doing some more Majima stuff. It's fun. Majima's a cool boy. Tuesday, new stream day. Hello, there goes well my free time. We'll be playing Payday 2 with Kim, going through the main story.
Right, yeah.
Good
Oh
luck.
god.
So, we might have a rotating cast for our 4th spot. We'll figure that stuff out as we play. But join me, Darian, and Kim as we play through the Payday story.
Hey.
And we're going for true ending, so
Hey.
there's gonna be a lot of streams.
We've been doing it for a while. I haven't done any of the story mode except for the part which is automatically done by just leveling up.
And then on Wednesday, more Pokemon. I grinded everything up today. They're all ready to go. Next time, I'm just going to grind off stream because I don't want to do that to people anymore, especially when it's like more than 2 Pokemon at a time. So, if that ever happens again, I'll change the stream up and do something different. So at least I'll be streaming on Wednesdays. It might not just be Pokemon if I've got free time. Thursday, more Bringus farms. We're gonna hit winter. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be the second to the last one, I assume, if everything goes well.
If we go quick, yeah.
Then we'll
Because
be,
like with winter, we won't have as much time to do things, so we just go to bed early.
yeah, and we'll be doing and right after that, we're doing 5 swords, which is, from what we've determined, is going to be 4 of us playing a randomizer multi-world together versus Darian, who's never played the game before, and we're going to see who beats Ganondorf first. And it's going to be dumb, and we're going to have fun, maybe.
This literally will test our friendship.
And then next
Good.
Friday, we'll have the session 27, 26. One day, chat, one day. 26 of Icewind Dale Rammer the Frost Maiden. They left that in a pretty cool spot. And now they have to deal with more trials from an evil god. That's fun. I think everyone's morally ready for that. Emotionally ready as well. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for session 19 of Echoes of the Forgotten, where they beat farmers, apparently. This is the story that we read. For them to be farmers. It's gonna be cool.
It's the life I've always wanted, apparently.
Any of the streamers got any other news for next week's streams?
Unless you count my payday practice, I don't think so.
Alright.
Mine streams are your streams, Mikasa your casa, so kind of already there done.
Well, don't do drugs, stay in school, and remember, I'm not your dad, but I love you just as much, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye!
Bye.
See ya.
Yes.